quarterback at White Beagle. Yes, only a junior, but tonight, his 29th career start. Tony, he's a player we saw as a freshman a couple of years ago.
Another quarterback who's accounted for 18 touchdowns like we had a week ago. He can do it all. He can run, he can throw, and he's got some weapons on the outside like Darren McKnight that can really make a difference in the passing game.
And a dual threat as well. Beagle has run for a team leading 451 yards this season. And defensively, Steele also very good. One of the players we're highlighting tonight, Christian Garza, a junior outside linebacker, 67 tackles that leads the team.
He is good, but they're all good. And this is like we saw with Judson, a lot of not real big defensive linemen and not real big linebackers, but they run so well and they run downhill, every one of them does.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Smithson Valley and Steele about to go to battle in 26-6A action. Kickoff is coming up shortly. Up next, we talk more about tonight's game with Smithson Valley head coach Larry Hill. This is Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network. Back after this.
With university admission competition at its peak and demand in the workplace for the best and brightest young talent, the time is now to give our students the edge at Comal ISD. And that edge is Memorial Early College High School. No matter where you reside in Comal ISD, MEX will help accelerate your learning and prepare you for a lifetime of success. You have a choice to make your high school experience fit you and your way of learning. Through a unique relationship with St. Philip's College, you can earn an associate's degree of arts. That's 2 years of college for free while you are still in high school. MEX offers a combination of regular and dual credit courses taught right here by instructors that have master's degrees. Learn in a hands-on collaborative way at MEX. Research, explore, problem solve, and build long-lasting relationships with driven, focused, and great students like yourself. Our campus is unique with many opportunities to get involved in school spirit. Our many clubs, academic UIL, sports, community, and leadership opportunities will have you screaming with eagle pride and soaring to new heights of excellence. Explore your options with Comal ISD. Explore Memorial Early College High School today.
We are back on Inside Rangers Football, looking ahead to Smithson Valley's big 26-6A test this Friday as the Rangers host a 5-2 Steele Knights. Steele, like Smithson Valley, 2-2 in 26-6A play, and the Knights have won 2 straight district games after starting 0-2. And Coach, like last week's preview, the Knights need little introduction. This has been one of the top programs in the area for about a decade or so now, and this is yet another tough hurdle for you to clear in what is a very difficult district.
Well, it is, and I think all 8 of us are saying the same thing. You play one good one and you look up and here comes another. And certainly that's the case here. They're a lot like us. They have a couple of losses that could have easily gone the other way, but didn't. They have postseason aspirations just like we do, and of course we have a history of playing each other. So, Steele and Smithson Valley in similar situations.
Now, looking at Steele's offense, they're averaging just shy of 40 points a game, right above 38 points a contest. Very balanced offensively, led by quarterback White Beagle, very experienced, has been playing varsity football since he was a freshman, playing for Steele. Is there an offense you face this season that's been comparable to what you'll see on Friday?
Well, a lot like Judson in the sense that they have a dual threat quarterback, experienced, returning starter, have multiple receiver threats, have a great running back, good offensive line. So similar, but I wouldn't say their offense is identical to Judson. They do it a different way. They'll use tight ends, and they'll run the quarterback, of course, a little bit like Judson does. They're two-weighing a kid or two, to get multiple use out of them, and they're very multiple in what they do offensively. They're not just a zone read team or a power team or just a spread throw it team. They make it very difficult for you to have a feel for what's coming next. We'll have our hands full.
I referenced that Steele is coming into this game running a 2-game winning streak, and during this winning streak, they've allowed a grand total of 17 points along the way, forcing 8 turnovers. Not many flaws in this Steele defense. How do you go about exposing what little they give you?
Well, there never are any flaws with those good teams we play, including Steele. And, it's not a game where you can maybe make one tweak and everything's good and everything's going to work. Or you just feature one part of your game more than another and everything's going to work. That's not how it is. You'll have to be good at everything that you do. You got to execute. You got to realize that every play is not going to work. But you got to string enough of them together to get it in the end zone. And when you get those red zone opportunities, unlike a week ago, we got to make sure we come away with points every time.
You look at the series between these two. This is the 6th straight year that you're meeting. Steele won the first 3. You've won the last 2. The two of you have been locked with each other into a district since 2014. How would you describe the level of play anytime the Knights and Rangers meet up?
Well, we know they're going to bring it. They're a well-coached team that has good players that play hard. They've got great tradition, as you mentioned. They're going to bring everything. There's not going to be something that, they're a little flawed here. That's not the way it's going to be. And it's the caliber of team you would face if you're deep in the playoffs, just like last week and other weeks. And, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your angle on it, we're used to that. We've had to play 3 or 4 teams that fall in that category, and Steele certainly will be the latest of those.
And Coach, what do you see being the biggest keys to Friday's game?
Well, we've got to get on top of the turnover margin. We were even last week, which is okay, but we need to be ahead in that. And red zone points, as we mentioned, I think will be, and then stopping explosives. They've got running backs, receivers, quarterbacks that can and have against everybody made big plays from a long way out. We'll have to make them drive the ball, not give them a cheap one.
All right, Coach, best of luck on Friday.
Thank you, Brian.
Community is really important to it.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Tell them about the hygienists. They are super gentle and really nice.
I will do that. Let's do that again. Community is a really important part of Summer Hill Dental.
Dad, did you tell all the kids about the awesome prize box?
I have not, but I will.
Okay.
Seriously, are we getting billed by the hour here? Here at Summer Hill Dental, we not only are really good at implants, we have gentle hygienists and awesome prize boxes. We also love our community. We are your Smithson Valley dentists. Go Rangers.
Fisher's Neighborhood Market is teaming up with the Smithson Valley Rangers. When you stop to gas up, look for the Ranger Spirit Pump. A portion of sales from this pump will be donated directly to the SV Athletic Booster Club to help out our Rangers. So choose the one that's Ranger Blue and fill up. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is proud to sponsor the Smithson Valley Rangers. With university admission competition at its peak and demand in the workplace for the best and brightest young talent, the time is now to give our students the edge at Comal ISD. And that edge is Memorial Early College High School. No matter where you reside in Comal ISD, MEX will help accelerate your learning and prepare you for a lifetime of success. You have a choice to make your high school experience fit you and your way of learning. Through a unique relationship with St. Philip's College, you can earn an associate's degree of arts. That's 2 years of college for free while you are still in high school. MEX offers a combination of regular and dual credit courses taught right here by instructors that have master's degrees. Learn in a hands-on collaborative way at MEX. Research, explore, problem solve, and build long-lasting relationships with driven, focused, and great students like yourself. Our campus is unique with many opportunities to get involved in school spirit. Our many clubs, academic UIL, sports, community, and leadership opportunities will have you screaming with eagle pride and soaring to new heights of excellence. Explore your options with Comal ISD. Explore Memorial Early College High School today.
Summer Hill Dental, how may I help you? Let me get someone who can help you. There's a phone call for cleaning on line 2.
I'll get Melanie on the phone. Line 2 for you.
Thank you. Hi, this is Melanie. Yes, we do deep cleanings and mouth guards. Of course we do implants. We actually make them here in-house. I can get Dr. Bayless to talk to you about it. Don't forget to point your toe.
Thank you. Summerhill Dental. We are your Smithson Valley dentist.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium, about ready for kickoff here between Smithson Valley and Steele. It is the 4-3 Rangers against the 5-2 Steele Knights. Steele won the toss, and the Knights have elected to kick off to Smithson Valley. Tonight is the 6th all-time meeting between these two. 6 in a row that they're facing one another. The Knights lead the all-time series 3-2. Steele won the first 3 against Smithson Valley, but the Rangers have won the last 2. Both those games in Cibolo. Funny thing, the road team of the series all-time has been 4-1.
It's probably because it really doesn't matter.
It really does not, does it? And this game is underway on the kickoff from the Knights, and the kick is fielded at the 6, out across the 15 to the 20. Still running, out across the 40-yard line. Jalen Nutt still going inside the Steele 40, and he is forced out of bounds eventually by Ethan Stokes. And what a start for Smithson Valley.
You know, Jalen Nutt is the one who's received more kickoffs than anyone else, and for the last 2 games, he's been the one that tried to break one.
Coach Hill talks all the time about needing to make a difference-making play in the kicking game. That's a big difference maker there. All the way up to the 35-yard line. That's about a 59-yard return, if my math is correct, there from Nutt. Gomber to the offense goes to work on first down from the Steele 40. It's a little sweep action here for Eggleston. He's got a cutback lane to the 30-yard line, spins its way inside the 25, and they'll mark him out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. 11-yard run for Eggleston on first down.
He has been so active early in the past 2 games now. They've really found a way to give him a seam and get him outside. That time, great blocks from the left side of the line with Smith and Muchagimba. They're just opening holes for him that has been really fun to see.
Now we see the tight end Chandler Cole check out. Into the game is Gabe Hoskins, a junior tailback at his place, as Eggleston lines up wide left here on first down for the Steele 24. 15 seconds in, no score. Snap back to Gommert, running play for Tone. Flips it back to Eggleston, reverses field to the 25 to the 20, and he is slammed down there after a gain of 4 yards. So 2 plays, 2 carries for Eggleston. This one sets up second down and 6.
A little reverse with him out at the wide receiver slot. We did that last week. In fact, I think we did it twice. It worked once in the first half. I'm not so sure in the second half. But any time to get him the ball in space, that's what they want to do.
Eggleston on the year, over 1,100 yards of total offense. He's averaging 13 yards every time he touches the ball. On second and 6 from the 20, run play for Tone up behind center, and able to turn out a yard, maybe 2 to the 18, and we'll call it third down and 4.
You know, they had some luck against Judson again, running the ball up the middle. Got a good surge from the offensive line. That time it really wasn't as good as they had hoped. Fortone able to get a yard.
Now let's see what the Rangers dial up here on third down. Third and a long 4 inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Minute and a half gone by. No score. Snap to Gombert. Rolls out to his left. Gombert throws on the run. The pass is broken up by Jalen Jones, one of the better defensive backs in the greater San Antonio area. A Texas A&M commit makes a play, and it brings up fourth down.
Really not a bad-looking play. It's just their coverage was very strong on that side of the ball. Gombert did a good job of rolling out. This will be a tough field goal, watched in the pregame. Kicking into the wind that's not as strong now as it was an hour ago, but he really struggled. Rodriguez really struggled to kick anything over 35 yards, and this one's 36.
Joaquin Rodriguez, yes, from 36 yards away, and the kick may have been tipped. It falls well short of the goalpost, and the Knights hold after a great return by Jalen Nutt, beg your pardon. Smithson Valley cannot capitalize, and we remain scoreless with 10:25 to go in the opening quarter.
You had a chance to see what you could do with the ball. You get, 1 first down, but can't get that second one. Big difference maker. You're feeling out each other in the first drive. Now your defense has to go out and make a stop.
And now we take a look at the junior quarterback for the Steele Knights. Wyatt Beagle recently received an offer to play at Rice. 29th career start. His record as a Knight quarterback, 21-7. Little run pass option play and first down. Swing pass is caught in the 20. And a few yards up to the 24 for Darren McKnight, team's leading wideout. And that sets up second down and 6.
Yeah, he's got 47 catches on the year, averages about 16 a game. He is the most dangerous receiver you see on paper, but they've got some good-looking receivers in different spots.
McKnight leads all of the San Antonio area among 6A programs in catches and yards this year. On second down and 6, run play up behind right guard. Good for a few more to the 28s. About 4 more yards there for Steele. On the carry was DeQuavian Thomas, senior running back, a 3-star recruit, third down and 2.
They've got a bunch of running backs that all run for about the same. Thomas and Gaddis and Bailey, all over 200 yards. They really spread it out.
3rd and 2 at the Smithson Valley 28s. Beagle hands off Thomas. He's got a lot of space out across the 30-yard line. Hurdles his way down to the 38s. Tripped up by Jalen Nutt. First down, Steele.
Again, good blocking as the defensive line had shifted to the left right before the snap, and that put us one slot off, and no one was to the outside on the right side to keep that ball from going out.
Gain of 10 for Thomas, who last week torched New Braunfels, 9 carries for 138 yards, and his second 4-touchdown game of the season. On first attempt for the 38, snap to Beagle, little play action, and the ball is jarred free. The officials ruling incomplete. No, they're saying it's a fumble as Smithson Valley recovers. Another turnover for this opportunistic Ranger defense.
I'm not sure, Brandon. Looks like as he was pulling back to throw, he got hit, and it popped out. Obviously, without any kind of replay, you can't see a specific of it, but the referee was all over that one and called it a fumble immediately.
So, Smithson Valley's offense again is gift-wrapped perfect field position here inside of Steele territory. Their last drive began at the 35. They could not score. This drive begins at the Steele 31 with 8:49 to go in a scoreless game in the first quarter. Blitz from the Knights. Galbert play action throws, and it's off the hands of Teetsman. He had an angle inside against Jalen Jones. That's a tough route to pull off there against a very good defender, but Teetsman couldn't hold on.
Kind of one of the things I wanted to say if we had to run the ball on first down is we've not had a lot of success throwing the ball on third down. Why not throw it on a running down? Had a chance there to make a big play.
So Galbert 0 of 2 passing to start the game for a quarterback only completing 45% of his passes this year. Making his 8th career start tonight, he's 4-3 so far. On second attempt for the 31, run play for Tone. Squeezes ahead for 2. Maybe a yard actually to the 30-yard line, that's it. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 9, and boy, Tony, tough to convert 3rd down against Steele, no matter the distance, but 3rd and long, very difficult.
Yeah, Christian Garza, the middle linebacker, was right there to make the stop as he's been in the middle of the line all game long. No wonder he leads them in tackles.
3rd and 9, 4 minutes gone by, first quarter, no score. Rangers have the football to Steele 30. If they don't gain a yard, this would be a 47-yard attempt for Rodriguez. Snap bobbled by Galbert, picks it up, a hands off to Fortone, darts forward, and he's got the first down up to the 20-yard line. So the Rangers needed 9, and Fortone gives them 10.
That was a good-looking play, got a good seam up the middle, just between the tackle and the left guard, between Brooks and Muchigamba. And really, when he got to the second level, he even had some more blocks there. So everybody did a good job of taking care of their assignment.
You got the sense that the drop snap took Steele's defense off schedule on that play. 1st and 10 from the Knights 20. Galbert takes a snap. Run play. Eggleston spins inside the 20-yard line, backs his way down to the 16. 5 hard-earned yards there for Eggleston. That's his 3rd carry of the game. Up to 20 yards rushing already. 2nd and 5.
They're again going to try to get him the ball in as many different ways as possible, as we saw a week ago. But eventually someone else is going to have to make a play like Fortone did the last run, and somebody's going to have to get open, and Gombert's going to have to find them.
Steele's first offensive possession ending in a turnover. Rangers trying to capitalize. Now the Steele 16. Gombert hands off Eggleston to the outside of the 15 to the 10, and he spears inside the 10-yard line. Little dive move there by Eggleston up to the 8. That's good for 8 yards, and it's goal to go for Smithson Valley just like that.
And he got a great block from his receiver out there, which was Cooper Douglas, who had the defensive back on that side pinned. That got Eggleston another couple of yards as he got around the receiver.
As expected, healthy dose of number 5 tonight from Smithson Valley. Rangers' most dynamic playmakers set them up inside the 10. Goal to go from the 8. He's in the backfield again. On 1st and goal, running play, Eggleston. He's got space, and he's got the end zone for the touchdown. Greg Eggleston finds pay dirt for the 9th time this season, and Smithson Valley strikes first.
Eggleston has become the playmaker we thought he would be at the beginning of the year, and his resume has just grown from game to game as they rely on him more and more. A great run again, left side of the line, and the wide receiver, great blocking.
Joaquin Rodriguez out for the PAT. That kick is up, and that kick is good. So Smithson Valley on top early over Steele, 7-0, 6:25 to go in the opening quarter on the Rangers Network. We're back after this.
Mom Needs a Break Cleaning is the professional service you can trust. Thorough, careful, and affordable. We take care of all your home cleaning needs so Mom can take care of the important things in life. Isn't it time you came home to a spotless house without the hours of back-breaking work? Call Mom Needs a Break Cleaning for an over-the-phone estimate and to set your personalized cleaning schedule with us today.
Building links between people. Connections are real, finite, tangible experiences, ones you'll never forget. GVTC understands and delivers connections for their customers every day. I'm Luke Gombert, and GVTC has me connected.
6 plays, 31 yards on the drive, 2 minutes, 21 seconds off the first quarter clock. The drive ending on a Greg Eggleston 8-yard touchdown run, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Rangers have drawn first blood. 7-zip, Smithson Valley, 6:25 to go here in the first quarter. And again, that drive set up by Smithson Valley's defense, a fumble forced from the quarterback White Beagle, and the Rangers able to capitalize. But remember, the Rangers jumped out to a 10-zip lead last week, and Judson came back to win. Here's the kickoff, fielded by McKnight. Takes it out across the 25-yard line following a short kick to the 28. And that's where the Knights will begin. It's first quarters for the Rangers this year. So good. With that touchdown, they have now outscored their opponents 92-29. And Tony, this defense has not allowed a first quarter point since week 2.
They
set the tone.
We've been around here for a while. We've seen some pretty good Smithson Valley defenses. After a year ago where we didn't have the kind of effect, it's kind of fun to see them have this kind of effect, and the penalty is going to back them up even more.
So, yeah, flag down. That's a hold against Steele. That is the first flag we've had tonight. Last week, Steele, or over the course of the season, I should say, they're averaging about 8 penalties a game. On first half of the 18, Beagle on the quarterback keeper, and the Rangers read that pretty well. To the outside near the numbers. And tackle made by Mason Livingston along with Trey Bellevue-Witcher. Beagle held to nothing there, 2nd and 10.
Thomas Zoig did a good read on it, too, as he chased him down. And Thomas Zoig, as we mentioned in the pregame, has just been a beast out there. He is just running down everything and being everywhere he needs to be.
In district play, Zoig is averaging 12 tackles a game. That's 16 last week against Judson. 2nd and 10 for their own 18. Beagle operating out of the shotgun. Little play action here with the junior quarterback. Steps up and slings it down the field and passes incomplete. Out around the 50-yard line, Jalen Nutt defending against Darren McKnight, and it brings up 3rd and 10.
Saw a little hand fighting there as they got down the field. They were kind of each doing enough, and then at the end they kind of separated, and I think Jalen was afraid somebody might throw a flag, but I think the offensive player is the one who pushed off and got that difference of space.
Again, Beagle, veteran quarterback, took over as a starter halfway through his freshman season 2 years ago and guided that team to an 8-1 record in the region finals. Here he is now as a junior. 3rd and 10 for the 18. Beagle facing a 4-man rush, flushed out due to the pressure. Completes, but for a loss. Back behind the 20-yard line. Actually, they'll give him a yard. Jalen Grills, the catch, did not yield much of anything, and Steele's offense goes 3 and out.
And that is the difference we've seen this year from the Ranger. The cornerbacks, one-on-one or whatever the situation is, aren't missing tackles. The only tackles we've seen missed were really toward the end of last week's game when I think Judson just wore them down. But the last several games, the last 3, 4, 5 games, we have not been missing tackles.
The dream of a defensive coordinator where first contact is all you need. Out to punt the ball away is Beagle. He's averaging about 34 yards a punt. After a high snap, gets it away. Livingston will let it bounce behind his head inside the 40 and down to the 32-yard line. That's a 48-yard punt, no return. 4:41 to go. Here in the first quarter, Smithson Valley on top 7-0. Last drive good for 31 yards and a touchdown. 3rd possession of the game coming up for Smithson Valley.
First time tonight we've started a drive in our own territory in the 3rd drive, which is always fun to be able to say stuff like that. So really, we've talked about this all year long. Can the offense come out and just get first downs? Get 3 or 4 first downs. No matter what happens at the end, you change the field position.
First down from the 33. Motion man is Eggleston. Handoff to Fortone. Fights his way across the 35-yard line of the 36. Christian Garza, outside linebacker, good-looking junior for Steele, 6'1", 222. On the tackle is Fortone. Turns out 3, 2nd and 7.
You know, he's been the beast tonight. I can't think of a single play that's been in the middle of the field where he hasn't made the tackle. I thought Fortone did a great job of jump stopping to the right a step. That gave him a seam to get the 3 yards he got, but there wasn't much there to get.
Garza's been a tackling machine this year. 3 games of 10 stops or more to include 21 of the opener against O'Connor. As Fortone comes out of the formation here, 2nd and 7. Gobbert run play. This is Eggleston. He's got room again across the 45. Tucks the ball away and dances out of bounds at the 48-yard line. 16-yard gallop there for Eggleston. And the Rangers back inside of Steele territory.
Once again, going left, getting help from some receivers. I think Douglas was the receiver out on that side that time. We're just blocking well on the left side. Tight ends and everybody were able to seal them, and he's kicking outside with plenty of space.
3:50 to go. First quarter, Smithson Valley on top 7-0. Playing the role of aggressor here to start the game. First down and 10 for the 48. Little draw play and out across the 45. Ball is fumbled and Steele is able to recover. Coughed up by Gabe Hoskins. And the Knights have their first turnover of the night. The 17th turnover they have forced in this 2-game win streak for Steele. They have forced 8 of them.
They have indeed. They have +6 on the turnover margin, and they're only giving up 21 points a game. This is a defense that's been very aggressive and very playmaking oriented. That time Hoskins, who's really earned plenty of playing time this year, now 35 carries, almost 300 yards, but that's the first time he's put it on the ground.
And for the Rangers as a team, just their 2nd lost fumble of the year. And maybe new life here for Steele, maybe just a play the Knights needed. First down from their own 40. Beagle with a handoff, and to the 44-yard line goes to Quavian Thomas for 4 yards, 2nd and 6.
He did a good job of seeing where the defenders were and tried to get behind the original surge. And the good thing is we've got some good defensive linemen like Trey Moore that just stayed with it.
Thomas did not play the first 4 games of the season for Steele. Knights glad to have him back in the lineup now. He gets the call again here.
Oh, took it away.
2nd down, and the Rangers strip the football. Did they recover a second time? No. It looks like the Knights were able to get back on it. But there you saw Smithson Valley ripping for the football, and I think that might have been Trey Moore doing it.
Trey Moore met him and got him kind of from the side, and as he did, I think he just yanked on his arm and the ball got it out, but just turns into a no gain.
Sets up 3rd and 6 for Steele. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, Smithson Valley on top, 7-0. The Knights have struggled in 3rd down tonight. 4 wide on 3rd down for Beagle in the offense. The juniors back to pass. Beagle fires a bullet right to midfield at the logo and a 1st down. Nice strike delivered to Rendon Lopez, his 11th catch of the year.
Just what we saw in the warm-ups, Beagle really has a strong arm. In warm-ups, doing whether they were 10-yard outs or 25-yard look-ins, he was able to fire the ball. Unlike the other quarterbacks they had, he's got a lot of oomph behind it.
Beagle might very well be the best quarterback in this district. 1st down, Beagle on the keeper, lunging ahead for 2 to the 47 in Ranger territory. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8. In that wild game against Judson in the district opener, Beagle accounted for over 500 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns. Final 100 seconds of the opening quarter. Rangers on top, 7-0. Steele football facing 2nd and 8. Draw play, Thomas. He's got a seam. Thomas explodes inside the 35 and dives down to the 31. 16-yard gash for DeQuavian Thomas. Steele's biggest play of the night.
And thank goodness Mason Livingston got a shoestring, otherwise he'd still be running.
Again, the Rangers have not allowed a first quarter point of any kind since week 2 against Pflugerville-Hendrickson. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line, running play, and a big one again for Steele down to the 20-yard line, 11-yard gash for Troy Gaddis, senior tailback, picks up another Steele 1st down.
And they've got a couple of seniors, as I mentioned earlier. They both get chances to run the ball. He actually has more carries than does Thomas.
Steele in the red zone now. The Ranger 20. Beagle hands off Gaddis. Gaddis again up the gut. Gaddis slicing his way inside the 10. He's still running. Backing his way inside the 5. The whistles finally blow at the 4. 16 more yards for Steele. 1st down.
It is unbelievable that they're now opening up the same lanes we've seen Eggleston have, because their offensive line's really doing some work.
You look at the frames up front, not imposing size for Steele.
No.
Biggest player, probably Robinson, the left guard, 5'11", 256. 1st and goal, Thomas the carry running behind left guard, lunging ahead inside the 1, and marked down there with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Mason Livingston came off the left edge and tried to chase him down from behind and had him at the 4, but Thomas just strong enough to get through and ended up getting down inside the 1-yard line, where it'll be, 2nd and goal as the first quarter will come to an end.
Inside of 10 seconds, let's see if Steele elects to run one more play. They will not. So we have played 12 minutes here from Ranger Stadium. It's a good one. Smithson Valley on top, 7-0, but the Knights knocking on the door. Start of the second quarter coming up after this on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. An eventful first quarter. It is now over. Smithson Valley has a 7-0 lead, but Steele has the football inside the 1. Each team a turnover in the first quarter. Smithson Valley's only touchdown, the only touchdown of the game, scored by Greg Eggleston. And the Knights, again, less than a yard away from perhaps tying it up.
The 9th play of the drive.
A drive that started after a Ranger turnover, a fumble coughed up by Gabe Hoskins. Beagle under center here on 2nd and goal and calls his own number. Did Beagle cross the plane? Arms not up for the officials yet. They're moving the pile around, and now they are. Touchdown Steele for White Beagle, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season.
Beagle took the snap, and Thomas just ran up behind him and shoved him through all the way as trying to push the offensive line and everything, and got into the end zone. I didn't think it was with much trouble, but the officials really took their time.
Swinging gate look for Steele before the PAT. And they will bring in the actual kicking unit now. Out for the PAT for the Knights. Looks like Elijah Wilkerson, and now he gives away to Cameron Hawk. Wilkerson the holder. Hawk has only missed 1 PAT this year in 25 attempts. This to tie the game. 8 seconds into the second quarter, and this kick is blocked. That's a live ball picked up by Smithson Valley. No, picked up by the Knights. But the Rangers will take another special teams play as they hold on to the lead by the slimmest of margins, 7-6.
I think it was Betsy who went after it and was going to try to scoop and score and just couldn't get a grasp on it, and it stayed on the ground, and then there was a tussle for it. But in any event, it's 7-6, and that's good news.
So Smithson Valley still on top, 8 seconds into the second quarter. Back after this on the Rangers Network.
Matt, we are excited to hear what you have come up with for the new Sage Capital Bank jingle.
You are going to love it. We think it really embodies Sage Capital Bank. Emotes class, tradition, effort. Well, just give it a listen.
Man, that's really got spirit, but isn't that
Awesome.
That's the Smith.
Best song ever.
Well, yes, it is.
Yes, nailed it. Guys, we have got ourselves a jingle. Let's do it again.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to support the Smithson Valley Rangers, and you can bank on that.
On the drive for Steele, 9 plays, 60 yards, 2 minutes and 48 seconds off the first half clock. Drive inning on a 1-yard plunge into the end zone by the quarterback, Wyatt Beagle.
One point about the block kick. Everybody's got to kick low and hard to get it into this wind.
Fair catch called for on the ensuing kickoff and made. As yes, you heard Tony describe, the wind is picked up a lot, blowing from our left to right with the kick coverage kicking into the wind there. And the Rangers start at their own 33. 11:52 to go first half. And Smithson Valley on top of Steele, 7-6. So now the Rangers have the wind to their back here in the second quarter.
It is. It's a difference maker of wind. Estimated at kickoff or just before kickoff at about 20 miles an hour. Now I think it's probably between 15 and 20 and has gusts. But we've seen each kicker who's kicked that direction have not much success. And I think that time he was just trying to pop it up and trying to get good coverage on it.
Whistle before the next play, a timeout taken by Smithson Valley.
Huh.
That is their first. They have 2 remaining. So 7-6, Rangers on top of Steele. You look around the rest of 26-6A, the game's happening tonight. Judson is at Canyon. East Central is at Clemens. St. Marcus is at New Braunfels. Now here's where things are interesting. Steele and Smithson Valley both tied for 4, so the winner of this game will stay in the playoff picture for the time being. The loser would be on the outside looking in. A surprise is that the Hornets are 3-1. They're holding on to 3rd place right now. However, the final 3 games for East Central, Clemens tonight, Steele next week, and Judson to end the regular season.
And Clemens is up, start of the second quarter, 14-0 over East Central.
So their time sitting in 3rd place could be short-lived. First down out of the timeout, Ranger football at their own 33. Steele showing a blitz, and there's movement and a flag thrown.
They jumped over the line, but I don't know if someone jumped. They're going to say the Rangers jumped, but I think they were in well through the neutral zone and forced.
That is the first Ranger penalty of the game. Smithson Valley last week 7 flags for 65 yards. How about Judson, though? At times, very undisciplined football. 9 penalties for the Rockets for 125 yards last week. That's a team loaded with talent, Tony, but you get the sense that sometime down the road they might get in their own way.
That could cost you a playoff game, losing composure like they did several times.
1st and 15 now for the 28. Gombert hands off Eggleston. It was left. Eggleston charging across the 30. and takes the football back to the original line of scrimmage before he's brought down by Garza. It's good for about 6 yards there. 2nd down and 9.
That time there wasn't as much room. Of course, they're on the far sideline on the short side of the field where he's run on an open side a couple of times. But I think the defense is starting to figure out they want to run. The Rangers want to run left.
Already 7 carries in the game for Eggleston. The Rangers have called 12 runs and 2 passes so far. 2nd and 9 from the 34. Here's a run for Fortone behind left guard. He's got a burst in him. Just short of the 40-yard line. Garza, another tackle for Steele. As Fortone is dropped after a gain of 6, will bring up a manageable 3rd and 3.
Interesting to see that now Fortone, who's run up the middle a couple times, went off. You said left guard, between guard and tackle. He went more wide than he did toward the middle. Again, I think trying to stay away from Garza, who's made all the plays. But this is an interesting run now on 3rd down. Do you run or do you throw?
Eggleston lined up wide, and he's facing Jalen Jones. 3rd and 3. Gobbard to throw. Swing pass is caught by Hoskins. Stumbles as he caught the ball, and as a result, he pays for it. Sent back for a loss to the 35-yard line. Good tackle in space by Mason Sharp. That's going to bring up 4th down, and the Rangers will have to punt the ball away.
Because the pass was a little bit behind him and high, he had to really go for it and couldn't get his feet under him when he kept going.
It's a loss of 5 on Gobbard's first completion. And out to punt the ball now for the Rangers, Garrett Brooks.
And the rugby-style punter doesn't have really any chance to use much of the wind because he doesn't rarely get it up in the air. Substitution problem.
Yep. Too many men on the field for Steele.
Well, he pointed towards Smithson Valley.
Well, I tell you what, though, I just saw big Jalen Jane, 5'10", 258 defensive tackle and special teams, jog off the field and getting an earful from Knights head coach David Sines.
So it goes from 4th and 7 to 4th and 2.
Whistles before this next snap. Officials looking back at the Steele sideline.
Well, the coach has got a hold of the official on the sideline and sent him in to say something to the referee.
Steele has to be careful here. Offsides penalty or another substitution infraction would give the Rangers a 1st down. And here we go. Brooks to punt, averaging about 38 yards a boot this year.
Not that you'd expect a fake.
It's not. It's a line drive kick. McKnight will field it on a bounce at the 5. McKnight runs right, and McKnight is spilled over. Ball is loose. At the 5-yard line, Rangers say they've got it again. And the Rangers have it again at the 5-yard line. There is a flag at the 5.
It's not a penalty. He was meant to throw his beanbag, and he threw his flag.
Picking it up, and Smithson Valley's special teams makes another play in this game. But a big return from Nutt, a blocked PAT, and now a fumble recovery on a punt return.
Why is McKnight picking the ball up inside the 5? That ball got a great roll, would have gone into the end zone. You'd had it out on the 20, and he goes and picks it up for some reason. I don't understand.
2 turnovers in the game now for Steele, for a team that had committed only 10 of them in the first 7 games of the year. Gobbard to the offense now from the 5. 9:23 to go. 2nd quarter on top of Steele, 7-6. Gobbard hands off. Fortone up the middle. Fortone muscles inside the 1 and stops short of the goal line. That's going to bring up 2nd and goal after a gain of 4.
Good looking run that time by Fortone, who just kind of muscled his way through some arm tackles and got it all the way to the goal line, just an inch or 2 away.
Smithson Valley's first touchdown drive saw the Rangers navigate all of 31 yards. Perhaps their second will include a journey of all of 6 yards. 2nd and goal inside the 1. Gobbard hands off Fortone, and Fortone forging forward, and he is stopped short again. Good tackle by Steele, keeping Fortone short of the goal line. 3rd and goal now.
Looked like it was one of the safeties who came up, and might have even been Jones, one of the corners, so everybody's in tight.
think it may have been Davian Hook, a sophomore quarterback, who made the play there. And you see this Steele defense converge right now. They're condensed, not playing anything wide. They know the Rangers want to attack the middle of the field. So 3rd and goal in what could be 4-down territory. Gobbert, hands off, Fortone, and he didn't get it. He is stopped short of the 1 yard line, may have lost yardage, and they're going to mark him back at the 3, a loss of 2.
That's a bad spot. He got deeper than that, but they are going to.
And Smithson Valley's offense facing 4th and goal will send in the field goal unit.
I'm surprised.
So how about Steele's defense there?
Not surprised by that. Kind of curious, though. Most of our yards tonight have been outside, off tackle, and we ran 3 plays up the middle where we hadn't got many yards tonight.
Rodriguez missed earlier from 36. This essentially a point after. 20-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it's tipped and blocked. So how about that? Steele hands Smithson Valley the football on a silver platter at the 5-yard line, and the Rangers come up empty.
That is a momentum changer for the Knights.
Well, you go back to the 2nd down and goal play, Tony, where you thought Fortone had the crease to get into the end zone. And we saw the secondary for Steele come in to make the stop in the play. As, by the way, the ball again was tipped and went out of the back of the end zone, so Steele doesn't take over at its own 10. They take over the 20.
Interesting how their defense has not been outstanding until that series where they made 3 serious. And again, we ran the ball up the middle 3 times when we'd had most of our success outside. So we'll have to look at that later in the game and see what kind of difference that made.
7:16 left, first half, 7-6, the Ranger lead. Beagle on the offense from the 20. Running play up behind right guard. Thomas is dragged down to the 22. Only gains a couple there on the tackle for Smithson Valley. America Sanders. 2nd down, 8 to go.
Really interesting. This is a big stop for the Ranger defense, who've obviously had some good stops tonight. This is a really big one after the momentum switch.
3 receivers here for Beagle, all to his left on 2nd and 8 from his own 22. Looking left, little screen play for McKnight, and can't not slip the tackle as a flag is thrown. Stop was made by Brooks, but this might come back a few more yards anyway.
Yeah, the wide receiver that was out there blocking was Holden Cullen Betsy, who got inside of him and was going to make a play, but got held pretty good. Still, the Rangers limited him to 2 yards.
And there is the call. 3rd penalty tonight for Steele, now for 25 yards. The Rangers have just 1 for 5. Smithson Valley trying to get back into the win column, coming off a loss against Judson last week. Steele trying to extend a winning streak. They've won 2 straight dominant wins over San Marcos and New Braunfels. Last week, 35-14 over the Unicorns. A week prior, 56-3 over the Rattlers, who are having a really tough time adjusting to life in 26-6A. 2nd and 16 following the flag. From their own 14, Beagle off a play fake is pressured. On the rollout, fires it, and it is low and incomplete towards the Steele sideline, far side of the field, looking for McKnight, and it brings up 3rd and long.
And credit Carson Padilla for the blitz from the right side, and he chased Beagle all the way down until he threw the ball on the opposite, past the opposite hash, almost to the numbers when he let it go. And that's a good reason why there was an incompletion.
Padilla, 2nd-year varsity linebacker, 49 tackles in the season coming in, playing at the strong side. I'd venture a guess here, Steele's going to take a shot down the field, deep towards McKnight. Maybe a jump ball or so. Because they need 16 for the first down, and now they need more. Delay of game here against Steele as Beagle lost sight of the play clock.
It's one of those plays where the play clock stops basically when the play ends. They start the play clock, a lot of players are out and about. You're waiting for the receiver to get up. Everybody gets back to the huddle, and if you're a quarterback that's not paying attention, that'll get you.
So now it's 3rd and 21, about halfway through the second quarter, 7-6, Smithson Valley leading. Beagle from his own 9. Back to pass. Beagle steps up, slings it deep down the field, passes off the hands of Nutt, nearly picked off. And as I thought, Beagle did take that shot down the field for McKnight, but the problem, Tony, there were 3 defenders around him.
You think if Jalen Nutt intercepts it at midfield, let's just say he goes down there. They're punting from inside the 10 into a 20-mile-an-hour wind. Can they get a punt 40 yards down? Maybe a good thing he didn't hang on to it.
You think, though, human instinct, right, there's the ball, go get it. But you're right, it's a great point, Tony. Smithson Valley in a better position that he dropped the football.
We're going to go after it, too.
Beagle to punt into the wind, and that ball will die out of bounds. Where will they mark it?
Maybe inside the 20, well, they call it the 27.
So that will go down as an 18-yard punt for Beagle. So Smithson Valley, by my count, starting inside of Steele territory for the 4th time tonight. All 4 times inside of Steele's 40-yard line, but only 7 points so far to show for it.
Well, this is a drive where you've got to find some way to get something. You really missed an opportunity to get some points inside the 5. Now you've got to nail some points up on the board.
First down for the 27. Press coverage here for Steele. Running play, Eggleston, and he is slung back at the 25 after a 2-yard pickup. Coming in to make the tackle for Steele, Caleb Lewis, 6'3", 200-pound junior. Veteran player for the Knights, makes the play, 2nd and 8.
Their defense has some talent. Now they've been able to make some plays throughout different parts of this game and other games, but it's just like they haven't been consistent all year long, and that's been their one bugaboo that cost them in 2 district games.
Steele's defense giving up about 21 points a game, but during this winning streak they have surrendered 17 points total. 2nd and 8, running play, no. Play fake for Gobbert on the run, throws, pass intercepted by Jones. He read that perfectly. Jones on the run across the 20, down his far sideline. Jones is still running. Just shy of midfield, now across it. Jones has a convoy and finally brought down to the Smithson Valley 44. Gobbert threw that right to Jones, looked to be the intended receiver, and the Rangers again unable to capitalize despite great field position.
Well, you've got 2 receivers within 10 yards of one another, both doing out routes to the near sideline, and he's just playing center field as one of 3 defensive backs in the midst of 2 receivers, and that was too easy.
Just force the ball into coverage, a play that Gobbert would like to have back and throw the ball away, live to play another down. Instead, 1st and 10 Steele now, the Ranger 45, 5:11 to go, first half, 7-6 Ranger lead. Beagle, hands off, Thomas up the gut. Thomas has got space inside the 30. Well into the secondary, Thomas spilled over the 15. A 30-yard run for DeQuavian Thomas, first down Steele.
You know, we've seen some good running backs the last 3 weeks. From Rosemond to last week, all the running backs from Judson, and now Thomas here tonight, and he's as good as any of them.
Inside the red zone, Steele 15 yards away from the lead, handoff Thomas, little cutback move to his right, dancing inside the 10 and to the 8 for 7 more. 2nd down and 3, so what was it, 2 minutes of real time ago, Rangers again in great position. But just one big play courtesy of the future Aggie Jalen Jones, and here the Knights are on the doorstep of the lead.
Right guard Fisher Heskew that time just took the right side of the left side of the defensive line and pushed him out, and that's what gave Thomas the angle to cut up inside.
On 2nd and 3, pistol formation here and a run inside of the 8 to the 7. That's all for Jaden Bailey, freshman running back for Steele, getting his first carry. It's good for a yard, 3rd and 2.
You know, you mentioned Thomas missed the first 4 games, so Gaddis had 70 coming in. Thomas had 41. Bailey had 40 carries, so 3 guys really carrying the ball a lot. And you mentioned this is a 5'10", 175-pound freshman.
3rd down, 2 to go from the 7. Thomas back in the backfield. Beagle hands to Thomas. hesitation move and then keeps the legs churning inside the 5 for the first down of the 4. Malachi Lane, sophomore linebacker, the tackle for the Rangers, but Steele's got it. Goal to go now at the 4-yard line.
Now it's a chance for the Ranger defense to do what the Knight defense did a couple of minutes ago, and that's just keep them out of the end zone.
Inside of 3.5 minutes to go in the half. Rangers on top 7-6, but Steele has goal to go from the 4. Beagle, hands off. Thomas to the outside, and he is tripped up for a loss. It took 3 Rangers to finally bring him down, but Nutt finishes the job with a 6. It's a loss of 2. Second and goal from there.
What a great job of penetration, first up the middle, then you get a bump on him by the outside backer, and then your cornerback comes up and puts him away. A great job of team defense that time, and it's something the Rangers have seen tonight already from the other side. They've got to put one up themselves.
Now second and goal. They mark it at the 5. Thomas stays in the backfield. Beagle, play fake. No, hand it off to Thomas, and Thomas storms into the end zone for the touchdown. His 11th rushing score of the year for the first time tonight. Steele has a lead, 12-7.
You'd guess they'd go for 2 since it's an odd and since they missed the first one. And that does look like that what they're going to do.
Trying to put Steele back on schedule in terms of points scored. So yes, a 12-7 lead, and Steele trying to make it 14-7. And Beagle's going to operate under center here. And calls for motion from Jones. And they're going to pitch it. Running back to his left, and he's not going to get there, or did he? Second effort, and Troy Gaddis, I believe, is in. And yes, he is. So Steele converts when Gaddis looked to be dead to rights, and Steele has a 14-7 lead.
He was able to carry the first defender a little bit, and then he got help from linemen and other backs, and the try for 2 is good.
So the Knights have the lead, 14-7, 2:42 to go in the first half on the Rangers Network. We're back after this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut.
So for the second time tonight, Steele capitalizes off of a Smithson Valley turnover. After the interception by Jalen Jones, taken back to the Ranger 48, Steele punches it in. A 5-yard touchdown run for DeQuavian Thomas, and on the PAT, a 2-point conversion converted by Troy Gaddis, 14-7 Steele on top. 2:41 to go here in the first half. Short kickoff for the Knights after the touchdown is fielded and taken to the 37, and that's where the Ranger drive will start, trailing Steele 14-7, again with 2:37 to go in the first half. The Rangers have decidedly won the field position battle tonight, but they just have not capitalized. At one point, recovered a fumbled punt back at the 5, and Smithson Valley did not score. First down for the 39, they mark it. Running play, Eggleston to the outside. Eggleston's got a lane. Tripped up, though, at about the 40. Falls forward to the 43. It's good for 4 yards for Eggleston. That's his 9th carry of the night. Brings up second down and 6. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the half. Smithson Valley again will kick off to Steele to start the second half as well. That's worth noting. Here's a handoff for Fortone, flips it back to Eggleston, and he gets it back to Gombert, throws down the field for Fortone, and Jalen Jones able to read that. He worked his way all across the field, saw Fortone leaking free, knocked it away, and it brings up 3rd and 6.
Again, one of the issues, Jacob Fortone probably doesn't run many pass routes. got his feet kind of tangled up as he turned and ended up going backwards, running backwards when the ball was coming. And if he stays on his feet and continues to run to the ball, then you still have a chance, even though Jones was chasing him. Tough pass for Luke, though. I think he saw he was open and tried to float it to him instead of throwing it to him.
Gombert tonight, 1 of 5 passing for -5 yards and a pick. Tough night tonight for the Ranger quarterback. On 3rd down and 6, passes caught. No, it's dropped by Teetsman into the hands of a defender. Picking it off is Mason Sharp. Teetsman's second drop tonight, and this one leads to Smithson Valley's 3rd turnover of the half. First down, Steele, just shy of midfield.
Are we sure that didn't touch the ground?
Looked to be
really puzzled. None of the officials made a call and really did anything till the back judge ran all the way up. But it is an interception.
I don't see any arguing on behalf of the Rangers or campaigning by Teetsman or Gomber, the players involved. So instead of a fresh set of downs inside of midfield, it is Steele football.
Wow.
The Rangers are at their own 47. And now Steele can add to its lead on top 14-7. Beagle back to throw to his right. Pass is caught. That's McKnight. And he's close to the sticks at about the 43-yard line. And let's see if they mark him good for a first down. They do. Get him 10 there on Beagle's 4th completion of the game. First down, Steele. Minute 47 to go. First half. Rangers led early 7-0. Steele has scored 14 unanswered. Beagle from the Ranger 43. Hands off Thomas, flips it back to McKnight. Running to his right. Escapes the grasp of Moore. And able to turn out about 4 yards after all of that to the 39-yard line. And that's going to bring up second down, 6 to go with a minute 30 left in the second quarter.
Really unbelievable how he broke Trey Moore's tackle, which really had a beat on him as he came up to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 6, hurry up offense, Steele. Hand off Thomas up the middle. Thomas burst inside the 25. Breaks a tackle, and Thomas takes the ball down to the 22, 17 more yards on his 14th carry of the first half.
Got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line, really starting to get to the second level at some points and really opening up some holes for all these running backs.
Thomas listed as a 3-star recruit. This is a Steele program that has churned out Division I talent year in and year out. Final minute, first half, 14-7 Steele from the Ranger 22. Beagle, deep drop, has all kinds of time. Now takes off to run, and he will dart out of bounds inside the 20. Marked down to the 19 for 3 yards, and that'll stop the clock.
He just waited and waited and waited till the man coverage got out of the way and got down the field and saw the zone and didn't get a lot of yards, but got the clock stopped.
We apologize right now for the lack of crowd noise. We'll get our sound issues fixed here around halftime. 2nd down and 7 from the 19. Beagle looking to his left, back to throw. It is caught by Jones, and Jones evades a couple of Rangers and dives forward to the 16, gains 3 on what looked to be a broken play. And Steele will spend its first time out with 40 seconds to go and facing 3rd down and 4.
Really a tough situation for the Rangers as they're really starting to go a lot of different ways, really being active offensively with play calling and showing some different looks. And it's funny, you talk about the defensive cornerback, Jalen Jones. He's also a receiver. They haven't done much with him, but he's out there on almost every play, which means he hasn't had many plays off tonight.
And get a two-way player for Steele. He has gone over 100 yards receiving twice this year and scored touchdowns offensively in each of the first 5 games of the season. But that is, yes, you heard Tony say his first catch tonight, good for 3 yards. Boy, and the Rangers down 14-7, and we don't have this figure, but I'd be very curious as to Smithson Valley's average starting field position. And I have to imagine it's somewhere inside of Steele territory and only has 7 points for it. Smithson Valley can't help but wonder what if right now.
Yeah, they've had opportunities they haven't taken advantage of.
14-7 Steele facing 3rd and 4 out of the timeout of the Rangers 16. And again, into the win. This is definitely 4-down territory for Steele. From the Rangers 16. And a whistle and a timeout taken by Smithson Valley. That's the Rangers' second. They have one left. Looking ahead to the Rangers' upcoming schedule, up next, they will travel to San Marcos to take on the Rattlers, a winless team. San Marcos is 0-7, 0-4 in 26 6A play. The final game of the regular season for Smithson Valley, 2 weeks from tonight, back home here at Ranger Stadium. Senior night as they host New Braunfels. The Unicorns on the year are 4-3 and 1-3 in 26 6A play, slipping out of the playoff race as we speak. And tonight, New Braunfels a chance to climb up the ladder as they host San Marcos from Unicorn Stadium. Here at Ranger Stadium, Smithson Valley over the past 50 games, an impressive 41-9 record, a winning percentage of .820 during that stretch. But right now up against it, trailing 14-7, 40 seconds to go. First half, and Steele's got it 3rd and 4, the Rangers 16. Out of the timeout, Knights operating inside the red zone. The two big targets, McKnight and Jones, lined up wide to the right on 3rd down. Beagle looking right, now to his left, screen play, caught at the 15, Thomas inside the 10. Thomas leaps, end zone, touchdown, Steele. What a play by DeQuavian Thomas.
What a great setup. Great play call, had people out in front of him, just kept going.
And for DeQuavian Thomas, his second touchdown tonight. And it is now 20-7 Steele with 32 seconds to go in the second quarter. Touchdown pass for Beagle, his 13th of the year. And for Thomas, his first touchdown catch. PAT is up, and didn't happen actually because there was a false start called against Steele. Wondering why the officials saw the ball up and didn't rule good or no good. And so now a try for Cameron Hawk from 5 yards further back.
So we're going to try for the try.
That's right. And now this is
a little deeper.
About a 25-yard point after attempt here for Hawk. You had a PAT blocked earlier.
Into the wind.
Hawks kick is up, is plenty of leg, and it's good. And Steele an even 14-point lead with 32 seconds to go in the half. And remember, the Knights will have the football to start the second half.
Been a tough second quarter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We looked like the Rangers that had been playing a couple of games, and all of a sudden, kind of midway through the second quarter, well, it started when the 11:52 mark when we had the ball in some serious territory. Actually, the 9:23 mark, we have the ball at the 5-yard line, can't score in 3 plays, don't get a field goal opportunity because it's blocked, and last 9 minutes haven't been kind to the Rangers.
The second quarter has been Steele's best offensive quarter of the season with 21 second quarter points tonight. Steele with now 99 points in second quarters this year. Their second highest scoring quarters of fourth was 69. And they have turned a 7-zip deficit into a 14-point lead. They're very much in command now. So the Rangers, for the second week in a row, established an early lead. Only to watch the opponent take it back. Here is the ensuing kickoff, fielded at the 30, and the returner's out across the 40. That's Nutt, and Nutt is slung down to the 45. And that may have been a touchdown-saving tackle made by Michael Sereno for Steele. So the Rangers have 28 seconds with a wind to their back and 1 timeout left. Can they find a way to score at least a field goal going into the locker rooms?
You got to wonder if they'll even try anything here. You know, you've just given up 3 touchdowns, and now you've got to try to limit the bleeding, but it does look like they're not going to take an E.
Gombert from his zone 45. On the rollout, Gombert throws over the middle of the field. The pass is almost picked off. In and out of the hands of Darnez Davis. Smithson Valley lucky that Gombert didn't just throw his 3rd pick of the night. 2nd and 10 now with 23 seconds left.
Yeah, the backup linebacker has made plenty of plays this year and almost had another big play as Luke's pass was just a tad behind and too many defenders in the way.
3 Smithson Valley turnovers tonight, all coming in Steele territory. On 2nd and 10, draw play, Fort Tone up the middle, and Fort Tone is tackled by Davis. We're at the 48-yard line with 17 seconds left, and Smithson Valley will spin its 3rd and final timeout.
Need to go back in the locker room right now and see what we can figure out. They had a lot of really good running plays in the first quarter. Really had a chance to get Eggleston out in the open, made some good plays, had an early touchdown, and then all of a sudden had good field position but couldn't convert on anything. Got a couple of opportunities and just couldn't do anything. Couldn't run the ball in. Couldn't do anything to get points on the board.
You never want to say or think that a game can be decided on a play in the second quarter. But, again, you go back to the goal line stand by Steele, a 2nd and goal try from inside the 1. Fort Tone we thought may have been in, but he was stopped short. Smithson Valley went backwards after that, and the field goal try was blocked. So the Rangers got a fumble at the 5-yard line, did not score, and the momentum has been in Steele's favor ever since. Swing pass caught by Hoskins. Hoskins takes the ball out of bounds at the Steele 41 with 11 seconds to go. And that play good for 7 yards and a 1st down. First positive completion tonight for Luke Gombert.
And that's certainly good news to have him feel, some success going into the locker room.
Hoskins now comes out of the game. Cooper Douglas is back in. Not really quite sure what the target yard line is here for Rodriguez. The wind is to his back, but Smithson Valley has struggled kicking the ball tonight. From the 40, Gombert back to pass down the field for Douglas. It's low and it is incomplete. Pass was thrown at around the 18-yard line, and now 7 seconds to go.
So you've got one more play to try to get what looks to be they're trying to get at least 15 yards. Probably could make an attempt from 40 or a little more than 40, but I don't know much more than that. I think the wind would have helped him, but he's got to get the ball up in the air, and we've already seen that was a problem early.
And whistle to the timeout taken by Steele. And for the Knights, their second, they have 1 left. Talked about the Rangers' upcoming schedule, looking ahead for Steele. They will host Canyon next week, a winless Cougar team, and then end the regular season on the road at East Central. So the Knights, with a win tonight, puts them in a really good position to make the playoffs. And you figure from that point out, if this score does hold, a lot can change between now and the 4th quarter, certainly. That Smithson Valley would then be battling East Central for the 4th and final playoff spot. Advantage there for the Rangers is the fact that they have the tiebreaker, and East Central has a very difficult schedule to close out the season.
And that is, you talk about East Central, the tiebreaker, you have that one. This is another tiebreaker that could end up being something, so you'd hope that you could finish strong here. But we've got some work to do, and obviously this is a big play. If you can complete one pass play to give yourself a chance for a field goal, you could really take some momentum, still down 11, into the locker room.
So, 2nd and 10 from the Steele 40-yard line. Out of the Steele timeout. Knights playing soft coverage. Gombert throws the ball away. 2 seconds to go. Chance for a Hail Mary now at this point for Smithson Valley. Again, the Knights had their entire secondary playing off the line of scrimmage by a good 20 yards, keeping everything in front of them. Pretty much telling the Rangers, look, if you're going to score before halftime, it's going to have to come on a throw to the end zone because we're not giving you room for a field goal try.
And they read that Gombert likes to roll to his left and pivot and turn and throw, and that way they put a lot of pressure on the right side of the defensive line to get up to him.
Coach Hill is out a few steps talking with the officiating crew.
Well, and the Steele coaches were out almost to the numbers talking to the officials over there as well, so something's going on here we don't know about.
The play clock is stuck on 25, so they have not started it because of this conversation. Game clock, 2 seconds to go. Second quarter, Steele leading 21-7 as they try to sort this out. Now the play clock starts back up. The game clock does. And that's the end of the first half. I think that maybe the conversation there was that they thought that the game clock stopped too soon when the ball went out of bounds. And so that is the end of the second quarter, and we have gone through a full 24 minutes from Ranger Stadium, and the Knights have the lead and control on top of the Rangers 21-7. Halftime coverage coming up. Don't go anywhere. Back with more high school football on the Rangers Network after this.
Summerhill Dental, how may I help you? Let me get someone who can help you. There's a phone call for cleaning on line 2.
I'll get Melanie on the phone. Line 2 for you.
Thank you. Hi, this is Melanie. Yes, we do deep cleanings and mouth guards. Of course we do implants. We actually make them here in-house. I can get Dr. Bayless to talk to you about it. Don't forget to point your toe.
Thank you. Summerhill Dental. We are your Smithson Valley dentist.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is teaming up with the Smithson Valley Rangers. When you stop to gas up, look for the Ranger Spirit Pump. A portion of sales from this pump will be donated directly to the SV Athletic Booster Club to help out our Rangers. So choose the one that's Ranger Blue and fill up. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is proud to sponsor the Smithson Valley Rangers.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. Your score at the half, Steele on top of Smithson Valley 21-7. A game the Rangers at one point led 7-0, but Steele 21 unanswered points, all coming in the second quarter. Our score at the half in this 26-6 game. Tony has scores from around the rest of the district.
Over at Canyon High School, Judson all over the Cougars, 41-0 just before halftime. At the half, Clemens over East Central in a game that really is not surprising. It's 23-0 at halftime there. And New Braunfels at home to San Marcos, up 20-7 still in the second quarter. Nothing really much of a surprise in the district, but anymore there aren't many surprises. We know who can play and who can't, and the ones who can't are usually on the bottom side of the score.
But a lot of playoff races heating up right now. Judson and Clemens battling for the 26-6A title. Those two teams will meet each other, I believe, next week. Steele, Smithson Valley, East Central, all perhaps battling for the final two playoff spots. Going to be a lot of movement over these next 2 weeks. And looking forward to how that plays out. Right now, though, the Rangers have work to do. Your score at the half, it is Steele 21, Smithson Valley 7. Back with more high school football on the Rangers Network after this.
guaranteeing things get done while saving you time. Speed is a necessity. GVTC understands and delivers the fastest speeds around for customers every day. I'm Greg Eggleston, and GVTC handles my speed.
There's no way that that's pass interference. Look, he's making a play for the ball and there's not even any contact. That's not interference.
I don't know, Coach. It is what it is.
No way, run that back again.
Well, Coach, maybe it was a bad call, but it sure doesn't get any better than this.
Well, actually it can.
Coach, this is awesome.
I'm glad you think so. Hey, quit spilling popcorn on the field. Touchdown.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Brant. So I am here today, and guys, we are here with Andy Colby and have a special guest star of Coach Worstifer. Coach, thanks for being here today. Y'all ready for some trivia? Would you like to know what you're playing for today?
Sure.
You are playing for history. We have a piece of Ranger turf that was played on for the years of 2011 to 2019. So y'all better work hard. You ready? Let's do this. First question. What 3 colors are on a calico cat? Coach Worstifer?
Orange, brown, gray.
No. Good try though. Andy? Okay.
Black, white, and gray.
Oh, almost. Colby, you've got nothing to lose. You don't lose a point if you get it wrong. You gonna guess?
Black, white.
Good job, Colby. The calico cat is black, white, and orange. Good job. So I have a football question. If you get one of the answers, you get 1 point. If you manage to know both, you get 2 points. Are y'all ready? Okay. Name the only 2 non-kickers in the NFL to play more than 300 games. Non-kickers. Colby? No, good guess though. Andy?
It's a long shot, but I think one of them is like Jeff Saturday, he's the center.
No, good guess though. Coach Worstifer, you got nothing to lose.
George Blanda.
No, good guess, guys. The 2 are Jerry Rice and Brett Favre.
Wow.
Good try though.
Nobody has a point.
No one has a point yet.
First one to a point wins.
Okay, next question. What movie has this line in it? Where we are going, we don't need roads. Coach Worstifer?
Back to the Future.
Yes, Back to the Future. To old people.
They gotta help me out somehow. It's got a free point on that one.
Good job, Coach. All right, boys, y'all got to know this one. What show had the characters Dipsy, Lala, Poe, and Tinky Winky on it?
Some little kids. Yeah, it's popular.
Which one? Andy?
It's not the Teletubbies, is it?
It is the Teletubbies.
No way I got that one.
Good job. And it says, over the hills and far away, Teletubbies come out and play.
Nah, that show scared me when I was
They're pretty creepy. Lala, like I don't even know. Okay, next question. A person that studies the weather is called a what? Colby? Yes, good job. Now I'm going to throw a little production into that question. What does a meteorologist stand in front of while he is filming the weather on the news? What's his background? What's his background? Andy?
You mean like, is it like a green screen?
Yes, green screen. Good job. Good job. So this next question is either going to be for the win, or one of you might tie up with old Coach Worstfer over there. Are y'all ready?
Let's go old school.
Let's go old school. It is what it is. What outlaw from the Wild West had a movie made about him with a song that goes, shot down in the blaze of glory? Dun, 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 dun. You gotta name the movie. You can name the movie. It's a bad guy. Yeah. But you like him in the movie. It's hard to say he's a bad guy. His name is short for William.
Sure?
Go.
Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid is correct.
No way.
What was the movie called for a bonus point? Young
Guns.
Yes, Young Guns.
This with that old people person.
So sadly, our game's come to an end, and there had to be a winner. Coach Worstfer, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Brad, Coach, back to you.
Go Rangers.
Great stuff as always, Emily. Looking forward to next week's Senior Moments as well. But right now, we're looking forward to this week's Rangers Trivia. This week in Rangers Trivia, Jacob Fortone and Greg Eggleston are each close to being on pace to rush for over 1,000 yards this season. When is the last time the Rangers had two players rush for at least 1,000 yards? Is the answer A, 2013, B, 2008, or C, 2001? The answer is C, 2001. Clint Haney and Mark Mecke each eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark that season, with Haney rushing for 2,027 yards, while Mecke racked up 1,126 yards of his own as each helped lead the Rangers to 14 wins in the state finals 18 years ago. That's right, back in the 01 season, those two rushing for over a combined 3,000 yards, Mecke and Haney. What a combination that was.
Yeah, they were. You know, Clint was our starter, and Mark was a junior, underclassman backup, but Clint ripped off a number of long runs, and you know, Mark would go in there and spell him, and then we'd roll him in a few series, and then sometimes we moved Clint to receiver and Mark to running back, and both those guys went on to have great careers at Smithson Valley. Of course, Clint signed and went up and played at University of Texas.
Now, again, you have two running backs this season on pace to perhaps eclipse 1,000 yards rushing in Fortone and Eggleston. That's got to be quite the luxury to have an offense.
Well, it is. You know, Greg's so versatile. You know, using him as a receiver, using him as a slot, playing him in the backfield. Sometimes they're back there together. Sometimes just one of them back there. There are different styles of runner, as you know, and bringing something a little bit different to the defense, and they complement each other well, and they're very unselfish. You know, proud for each other's successes, proud for the team's successes, and they're great kids as well as good players.
With university admission competition at its peak and demand in the workplace for the best and brightest young talent, the time is now to give our students the edge at Comal ISD. And that edge is Memorial Early College High School. No matter where you reside in Comal ISD, MEX will help accelerate your learning and prepare you for a lifetime of success. You have a choice to make your high school experience fit you and your way of learning. Through a unique relationship with St. Philip's College, you can earn an associate's degree of arts. That's 2 years of college for free while you are still in high school. MEX offers a combination of regular and dual credit courses taught right here by instructors that have master's degrees. Learn in a hands-on collaborative way at MEX. Research, explore, problem solve, and build long-lasting relationships with driven, focused, and great students like yourself. Our campus is unique with many opportunities to get involved in school spirit. Our many clubs, academic UIL, sports, community, and leadership opportunities will have you screaming with eagle pride and soaring to new heights of excellence. Explore your options with Comal ISD. Explore Memorial Early College High School today.
Matt, we are excited to hear what you have come up with for the new Sage Capital Bank jingle.
You are going to love it. We think it really embodies Sage Capital Bank. Emotes class, tradition, effort. Well, just give it a listen.
Man, that's really got spirit, but isn't that
awesome?
That's the
best song ever.
Well, yes, it is.
Yes, nailed it. Guys, we have got ourselves a jingle. Let's do it again.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to support the Smithson Valley Rangers, and you can bank on that.
Community is really important too.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Tell them about the hygienists. They are super gentle and really nice.
I will do that. Let's do that again. Community is a really important part.
Dad, did you tell all the kids about the awesome prize box?
I have not, but I will.
Okay.
Seriously, are we getting billed by the hour here? Here at Summerhill Dental, we not only are really good at implants, we have gentle hygienists and awesome prize boxes. We also love our community. We are your Smithson Valley dentists. Go Rangers!
Guaranteeing things get done while saving you time. Speed is a necessity. GVTC understands and delivers the fastest speeds around for customers every day. I'm Greg Eggleston, and GVTC handles my speed.
And it's time now at halftime. Steele leads the Rangers 21-7. Time for the Ranger Marching Band.
Jaden Martinez and Naomi Morrow. Tonight, the Silver Spurs and Silverados are performing a special routine as we welcome Piper Ranch Middle School, Smithson Valley Middle School, and Spring Branch Middle School's dance teams. These four teams have worked hard to prepare for your halftime entertainment this evening, and the high school dance teams are so happy to have them by their sides tonight. The Silver Spurs are being led onto the field tonight by Junior Lieutenants Faith Falcon and Lorna Luciano, Senior Lieutenant Melanie Bowe, Lieutenant Colonel Tandy Folsom, and Colonel Dakota Martini. The Silver Spurs and Silverados are under the direction of Director Ashton Burchell and Assistant Director Kayla Speaker. Thank you to the dance teams, including featured twirler Lauren Matsula, who have now performed their palm routine. The 2019-2020 Silver Spur Social Board officers are President Taylor Vela, Vice President Ashley Reeves, Social Officers Kendall Egley and Lauren Gomez, and Chaplain Maddie Guerra. The Spirit Girls of the Week are Ava Bryant and Caroline Beach. The Dancers of the Week are Brooke Schuler and Marina Mangan. Next, the Ranger Band and Color Guard will perform their UIL marching show entitled Mystery Tour. The show will feature the music of the Beatles, including Eleanor Rigby, Yesterday, Gotta Get You Into My Life, and Hey Jude. Soloists for the Ranger Band include Amanda Millard, Jonathan Nunez, Josh Robertson, Bradley Barker, Josh Fiorentino, Tomas Hinojosa, Josiah Mesa, Alexis Timmons, Liana DeLuna, Ava Cabrera, and Wesley Barton.
What does it feel like to die?
Oi, we mate.
Dropping guns, like how to be a failure and drop your gun while throwing it in the sky. Who's Joe? Hey Peter. Is this Oregon? They got that. Oh yes, 6 million. Dude, that thing is 6 million days, so it's fun. You should just take off everything except for your pants.
Would you please stand and show your support as the Smithson Valley Ranger Band performs the Ranger Fight Song.
And that again, the playing of the Ranger Marching Band at the half with a score from Ranger Stadium. It is Steele 21, Smithson Valley 7. Second half kickoff coming up next after this on the Rangers Network.
Community is really important to it.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Tell them about the hygienists. They are super gentle and really nice.
I will do that. Let's do that again. Community is a really important part of Summer Hill Dental.
Did you tell all the kids about the awesome prize box?
I have not, but I will.
Okay.
Seriously, are we getting billed by the hour here? Here at Summerhill Dental, we not only are really good at implants, we have gentle hygienists and awesome prize boxes. We also love our community. We are your Smithson Valley dentists. Go Rangers.
Matt, we are excited to hear what you have come up with for the new Sage Capital Bank jingle.
You are going to love it. We think it really embodies Sage Capital Bank. Emotes class, tradition, effort. Well, just give it a listen.
Man, that's really got spirit, but isn't that
awesome?
That's the Smith.
Best song ever.
Well, yes, it is.
Yes, nailed it. Guys, we have got ourselves a jingle. Let's do it again.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to support the Smithson Valley Rangers, and you can bank on that.
What was once a 7-0 Smithson Valley lead is now a 21-7 deficit for the Rangers. Steele on top as we get ready to start the third quarter. 21 unanswered points scored by Steele, all in the second quarter. Looking back at some of the numbers from the first half, the Knights leading rusher DeQuavian Thomas, 14 carries. Workhorse effort for Thomas in the first half, 93 yards and a rushing touchdown from 5 yards out. Total rushing yardage for Steele in the first half, 131 yards. Passing, the junior quarterback White Beagle, 6 of 9, 41 yards and a score. That was a 16-yard pass also to DeQuavian Thomas. For the Rangers offensively, they were led by Greg Eggleston, 9 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown of his own. That came from 8 yards out on the Rangers' second possession of the game. As a team, Smithson Valley ran for 102 yards in the first half. The passing offense sorely lacking for Smithson Valley. Quarterback Luke Gommert, 2 of 8 for 2 yards and threw 2 picks in the first half. Rangers have some work to do to start in the second half, and Steele will start with the football as well.
With the wind at his back, Rodriguez will now kick it off. Brett, their receiving team is really short. They're up almost to the 20-yard line.
And Rodriguez will kick it deep. Up behind Jalen Jones into the end zone for the touchback. Steele starts at its own 25, leading 21-7. And Tony, you would like to see Smithson Valley's defense make a statement early on here in the third quarter.
I don't think there's any doubt that they've got to set a tone here at the start of the second half. This has been a game that they lost control of in the second quarter, and Steele runs off 21 unanswered points. And despite the fact that the Rangers had several possessions in Knight territory, they were unable to score after that initial touchdown.
So here's White Beagle and the offense on top, 21-7. The Steele offense is averaging 38 points a game, 11 more than they averaged a year ago. On first down, little handoff to McKnight, receiver end around across the 30, across the 40. He's inside of midfield, and McKnight eventually chased it out of bounds by Jackson Senney inside the 40-yard line and out at the Ranger 38. There is a penalty marker, though, all the way back at the 23. This one's coming back.
The sideline judge ran all the way up the field and put his foot down at the 38, Brant, and I think he got wind that there was a whistle or a flag. Then I find out it was his flag. So this one is coming back.
5th flag of the night against Steele in the first half, penalized 4 times for 30 yards, so that will erase what would have been a good 45-yard run there for McKnight on the receiver end around. Instead, 1st and 20 now for the 15. Cold night, temperatures in the 60s, but with the wind blowing 20 miles an hour, feels more like the mid-40s. Run play, 1st and 20. DeQuavian Thomas spilled over at the 18. It's good for 3. Again, Thomas in the first half, 93 yards rushing and 14 carries.
Good play by Luke Seminaro. Got a hold of his leg and wouldn't let go after a gain of a couple of yards.
30 seconds gone by here in the third quarter. Steele on top, 21-7, a team playing for its 3rd win in a row. A team that has dominated its district no matter which one they've played in over the past 12 years, a record of 69-9 since 2007 in district play. On 2nd and 18, Beagle flushed down to the pocket, steps up to run, and out across the 22 for about 5 goes Beagle. Set up 3rd down and 12.
Trey Moore in there initially to chase him out of the pocket, and then he still wanted to throw once he got beyond Moore. Didn't find anybody open, so he put his head down and got, 4 or 5 yards.
3rd down, they'll say 13 to go for Steele. Rangers again defensively trying to make an early statement here in the second half, get the offensive ball back with the wind to their back. Down 2 scores. 4 wide for Beagle on 3rd down. Back to pass. Beagle, good protection. Now it breaks down. Beagle on the run, throws, and it is dropped. Would have been a 1st down, and there's the flag. 2 of them throw. McKnight, the intended receiver. Think they might get Mason Livingston on the pass interference, and this will be a 1st down for Steele.
Coverage was pretty good, meaning Beagle had to really wait for something to come open, and Mason must have just arrived a little bit early.
And there it is, defensive pass interference, just the 2nd flag of the night thrown against Smithson Valley. Good for a Steele 1st down.
15-yard penalty. 1st down at the 37.
After the 15-yard penalty, 1st down for the 37. Run for Thomas behind right tackle. Thomas, another big burst. Big physical frame, can run inside of midfield and to the Ranger 47-yard line. 16 more yards as Thomas goes over 100 yards for the game. 1st down, Steele.
They're even utilizing a defensive tackle. Big Dwayne Smith is out there, number 99. I don't know if he's lining up as a tight end, but he's out there as a lead blocker. He is on the right side, a tight end, giving them an extra blocker over there, and that's the way they've been going.
Now the Ranger 48, 2 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Steele to control on top, 21-7. Beagle hands off Thomas again. Why not? And why not, says Padilla. The Ranger linebacker comes in and slings down Thomas around his hips. No gain that time for Thomas. In fact, he'll lose about a half yard there.
That time,
2nd out at 11.
That time Padilla fought off the block of big Dwayne Smith, a 6'4", 240-pound defensive tackle. Did a good job of getting off the block and making the play.
A drive for Steele, aided by a Ranger penalty, extending the drive on 3rd down. Now they face 2nd and 11. Play fake. Beagle fires a dart to McKnight. The catch inside the 40, close to 1st down. Livingston, the tackle for the Rangers. Also in on the play, Thomas Zoig. Boy, that was a good spot. They gave him the 1st down.
No.
Thought he was a good yard short.
Whoa, I don't think it is. The line judge over on this side had him just past the 40, and the umpire put the ball all the way up to the 41, which was a 1st down, but the line judge on this side wasn't going to let him get away with it.
The chain gang resets.
3rd down and a half yard to go.
And it should be longer than that.
Yeah, they have to get to almost the 38.
It's almost a good 2 yards here.
I think we're seeing that more and more throughout every level of football. They're just getting 1st downs no matter how close it is.
So 3rd down, long 1. And whistles, false start against Steele. So the correction on the first down or not comes into play here, because for Steele, had that been erroneously ruled a first down, it only makes it a harmless, relatively, 1st and 15. Instead, now, because they got the call correct, it goes from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
That's a big difference too, don't we know?
6th flag against Steele tonight. You don't get the sense that the Knights defense is going to give up a whole lot here. Smithson Valley's defense has got to hold. Don't want to put the Rangers into a 3-possession deficit. 3rd and 6, Beagle facing the blitz, steps up, Beagle goes down. Witcher makes a play for the Rangers again. He has been all over the place at times this season, and the Ranger defense forces 4th down.
And it's funny, we haven't seen a blitz like that in a while. And that time, Coach Hill and the defensive staff brought everybody and the kitchen sink to make sure he didn't get away.
13 career sacks for Trey Bellew-Witcher. Led the team a year ago in tackles for loss and sacks. As a junior, Beagle back to punt. High snap and into the wind. Gets the kick away. Dies in the air. Fielded by Livingston at the 21. 23-yard punt. No return. 7:28 left, 3rd quarter. Smithson Valley's offense has got to get in gear. Down 21-7. This the deepest I believe they started tonight.
There haven't been many like it.
Again, 7 points, despite the fact the Rangers have started 4 times inside of Steele territory, once at the 5 and did not score.
Started once at our 31 and once at the 33 in the first half.
From the 22, Gombert hands off for Tone behind left guard, and for Tone turns out about 5 yards there to the 27. Stays ahead of the chains. 1st and 5.
Yeah,
2nd and 5, beg your pardon.
Yeah, Jacob Fortone has been a tremendous ball carrier this year and has been one of the hardest working. Came in with almost 700 yards on 130 carries, and he's really been doing some hard work tonight.
2nd and 5 down for the 27. Gombert hands off Eggleston this time. Eggleston to his left. Eggleston fights for a yard, maybe 2 to the 29. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Greg really trying to be patient on that one as their defense is really kind of pursuing up and really trying to push the tempo back at the Ranger offense. And everybody's up near the line of scrimmage, but 1 or 2 safeties are kind of hanging back. But everybody's putting a lot of pressure on that offensive line, and Greg's doing a good job of being patient, just couldn't find any opening.
3rd down, and they're going to mark it 4 to go from the 29. Snap got behind Gombert and just dumps onto the football. A mishandled snap. Smithson Valley will be forced to punt the ball away.
Loss of 10, 4th down.
Unfortunate. Snapper and the quarterback just didn't get together, and you've got a problem.
And now McKnight back to return. He's averaging about 7.5 yards per return this season.
He's expecting a 55-yard punt from Brooks.
McKnight did fumble on a punt return earlier in this game. Here's a punt by Brooks, so it's off the top of his foot. Does take a Ranger bounce, but the ball is going to rest at the 48 on the Knights side of the field. Only a 34-yard punt with the win by Brooks. No return. We are past the halfway point of the 3rd quarter. Steele on top 21-7.
Well, he didn't. I don't know if he was trying extra hard to get it up in the air, but that one he just almost missed. Didn't get much of the foot on it at all.
You heard Tony reference the fact for Tone around 700 yards rushing this year. He and Eggleston both on pace to rush for 1,000 yards this season. That would be a first at Smithson Valley, 2 backs eclipsing that watermark in 18 years. 1st and 10. Here's a running play. Thomas is dragged down for a loss, and there he is again. Trey Bellew-Witcher. Another tackle for loss at TFL back to the 45, a loss of 3. 2nd and 13.
Luke Seminaro actually got a hand on first, and Trey actually looks like he got shook up a little bit as he's come off the field, but Seminaro has been in the backfield a bunch, as has Witcher, and our defensive tackle's really starting to play.
Also see James Deardriff, and they're the Ranger defensive line. Consecutive 13 Steele, nursing a 14-point lead. Into the win after matching the keep of the ball on the ground. And Beagle, no play fake at a pass caught by Jones.
Down on a knee.
He was. It's a loss back to the 43, a loss of 2 for Jones at his second catch. That's going to set up 3rd down and 15 for Steele. Smithson Valley won a very tight game against these Knights a year ago, 21-19 in Cibolo. Again, the road team has dominated this series over the previous 5 years. 4 wins. The only home team to win was Steele back in 2014.
Be interesting to see the play call this time, whether they're going to go for something big, because even their runs have been big if they get the right blocking.
They have to reach the Ranger 42 for a first from their own 43. Play fake. Beagle on the rollout. Pressured by Sanders. Downfield throw. Caught by McKnight. Going back to the football inside the 25. Darren McKnight has got it down to the 18-yard line. What a play by McKnight. First down, Steele.
Unbelievable. Only the receiver turned around to see the ball coming in. Both defensive players kind of ran past him.
37 yards on the pass play.
What a catch.
37-yard pickup, the longest passing play of the night for Steele. And McKnight now 4 catches, 61 yards, 3:30 to go in the third. You'd think that a touchdown by Steele could maybe put the game away. Little quarterback design run here. Beagle inside the 10. Beagle charging, diving. He's got it. Touchdown. Touchdown, Steele. Wyatt Beagle with his legs from 19 yards away. And the Knights are smelling the win right now.
Unbelievable. And you want to see who was leading the block down there. It was Thomas, was the lead blocker out in front of him. It took the cornerback and just pushed him out of the way as Beagle scampers into the end zone. And I was just about to make the point after the pass. He's thrown for over 1,600 yards this season.
Yeah.
He is a proficient passer with good numbers, and yet he still has the ability to run, now probably close to 500 yards on the season.
Yeah, the Knights' leading rusher of the season coming in, P.A.T. Hawk splits the pipes, and the Knights are in control. Steele 28, Smithson Valley 7, 3:21 to go, third quarter. You're watching Smithson Valley football on the Rangers Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, HEB, GVTC, Wick Productions, Ferris Orthodontics, Summerhill Dental, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, and Pizza Hut.
A 4-play, 52-yard drive for Steele ends with a 19-yard touchdown run by Wyatt Beagle. 2 big plays for Beagle on that drive. Beagle, of course, a touchdown, yes, but the play prior, a 37-yard strike into the wind to Darren McKnight. It is all Steele, 28-7 on top of the Rangers, 3:21 to go in the third.
And this is a drive that started out with a 3-yard negative run and a 2-yard negative pass, and then the big pass play.
Yeah, 2 plays after 3rd and 15. It was a touchdown for Steele. And the ensuing kickoff is taken by Brooks, and Brooks breaks a tackle. Takes it out across the 45 to about the 47. Again, field position has not been an issue for the Rangers whatsoever tonight, but the inability to take advantage of short fields early on has now come back to bite this team because they've been stuck on 7 points since early in the first quarter.
It's really hard to believe. You knew to beat Steele you were going to have to make some plays, but you're going to have to get some breaks too, and we got so many breaks in the first half that just didn't work. In fact, the first drive that we scored on in the first quarter. We started on our own 31, so we marched 69 yards, and yet we haven't been able to score on much shorter drives.
First down for the 47. The margin for error for the Rangers is now razor thin. Here's a play fake by Gommert. Pass is caught in stride. Best passing play of the night, good for a first down inside the 40 and to the 36-yard line. That pass hauled in by Maverick Freeland, just his 7th catch of the year. First down, Smithson Valley.
That was a good-looking throw from Luke, one of the first ones we've seen where he's really stepped into it and put a good arm on it.
17-yard pickup. And a first down to the Steele 36. Motion by Eggleston. Running play for Fortone. Behind his center, Taylor Brooks. Fortone picks up about 4 to the 32. And for Fortone, his 11th carry is good now for 40 yards. 2nd and 6, Smithson Valley.
Really proud of the way Jacob Fortone is carrying the ball too as he comes out for a break, but because they're really hawking for the ball. Everybody's slapping at it, and when they try to tackle him, they're tackling the ball.
The Knights have already forced 3 turnovers on defense. That is now 11 for them over the past 3 games. 2nd and 6, running play, Eggleston to his left, 30. Leaps inside the 25. What an athletic play there by Eggleston. Finally dragged it out of bounds at the 15-yard line after a 17-yard gain.
We really didn't know it before this season started, but we're quite aware right now Greg Eggleston is a big-time football player.
Eggleston was a backup linebacker a year ago. Now, he played offense before in his career, but I don't even know if he knew he was capable of this. He has turned into the Rangers' go-to player on offense. Minute 45 left in the third. Smithson Valley must score a touchdown on this drive. Down 28-7. On first down, Gombert hands off Fortone, trying to find the lane to the outside. He will not. Darnez Davis makes another play in this game. A tackle for loss all the way back to the 21. A loss of 5. 2nd and 15.
And it was Davis who had the interception that he let go through his hands in the first half, or he'd have had 2 big plays tonight.
Fortone has had a hard time getting things going. 12 carries now for only 35 yards. As we come up in the final minute of the third. 28-7 Steele as Gombert directs the offense from the Steele 21. Knights bringing a blitz. Play fake. Gombert throws to Freeland again and slips a tackle inside the 15 and then dumped down at the 11. 10-yard gain there for Freeland, his 2nd catch of the drive, and that'll make 3rd down manageable. 3rd and 5 now.
He caught it in traffic because you really had hoped when he gathered the ball he could just take a left-hand turn and get up the field, but I think the contact on the catch kind of made him unaware of where he was, and then he saw a defender right in his face as he caught and came down.
Austin Howell comes out for Smithson Valley and Cooper Douglas into the game. Douglas made some big plays last week at Judson. Scored the Rangers' lone touchdown as Smithson Valley calls for timeout. And the reason for this, because you wonder, boy, the timeouts are going to be precious, right? Down 3 possessions. You might need to stop the clock in the 4th quarter. This is for the wind. Smithson Valley, if they didn't get another snap off, would have to take their next going into the teeth of the 20-mile-per-hour wind. They are assuring they have at least 1, maybe 2 more plays with the wind to their back.
I don't think there's any doubt, no matter what happens on this play, if they want to kick a field goal, which I think they'd be more likely to go 2 plays, to get in the end zone, then you got the wind at your back for at least 2 plays.
First Ranger call timeout of the second half. They have 2 left. 28-7 is the Steele lead with 17 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Mentioned that Steele Judson district game earlier this season, wild opener in 26-6-8 play. 99 combined points, a game won by Judson 51-48. No turnovers, just 4 total punts. Total yardage in that game, nearly 1,200. 1,180 yards of offense, including more than 700 on the ground. Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 5 from the 11. Gombert. Handoff. Eggleston to his left, trying to find an alley. Eggleston slips 1 tackle, putting his head down and able to get only a yard.
Flag.
But there's a flag, and this could be targeting against Steele.
I find it hard to believe they would call targeting when he's the one who ducked his helmet at the last second to try to get that extra yard. I'm sure that's what the flag was thrown for, unless it was a hold.
Or maybe a face mask that we didn't see from our vantage point. Jalen Jones seems to be the person of interest here, as he's the one talking to the officials.
That's what makes me concerned that it would be a targeting flag, because again, when the offensive, and I'm all about trying, player safety, but when the offensive player ducks his head to get that extra yard, it's hard to call targeting because the defender's diving for his waist or his legs.
As you said as well, maybe this is a late hit on Steele, as Eggleston was heading towards the sideline out of bounds. Did he get out before he was hit? That's the question. Personal foul.
He's calling targeting.
Targeting, yep.
Wow. That's a tough call.
Now, we don't have the officials' mics available to us. What we need to know now is who was the player called for it. And we're pausing to hear for the public address. They don't announce the numbered player either. Jalen Jones still arguing his case. I think it's against him, but he's staying in the game.
Well, because we don't have replay, I don't think there's any avenue to throw somebody out in high school football.
So here we go. Goal to go now from the 5. Gobbert, hands off. Eggleston to his right. Eggleston is dropped inside the 5 of the 4. And that the final play of the third quarter. Smithson Valley, great field position to start the 4th, but they've got a lot of wood to chop. Your score at the end of 3, Steele 28, Smithson Valley 7 on the Rangers Network.
Mom Needs a Break Cleaning is the professional service you can trust. Thorough, careful, and affordable. We take care of all your home cleaning needs so Mom can take care of the important things in life. Isn't it time you came home to a spotless house without the hours of back-breaking work? Call Mom Needs a Break Cleaning for an over-the-phone estimate and to set your personalized cleaning schedule with us today.
And we're back at Ranger Stadium. Smithson Valley scored 7 in the first quarter. Still to 7 points on the scoreboard. They trail 28-7 as we head into the 4th. But the Rangers do have great field position on their first fourth quarter play coming up. The Steele 4-yard line faced with 2nd and goal. But now the Rangers going into the wind, blustering in at 20 miles an hour here in the fourth quarter. Steele's defense has been very good once the field has condensed tonight. On goal to go from the 5, Gobbert bootlegs left, throws left, passes behind Howell, incomplete. And there's a flag. They're going to get Jalen Jones for going low against Howell, and Jones is beside himself. This would be his 2nd personal foul penalty for a illegal hit in the last 3 plays of this game.
2 personal fouls is an ejection, isn't it?
They're talking about things right now to 7. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the call against Jones. So they didn't get him for the low hit. They're calling unsportsmanlike conduct. And that will give Smithson Valley a fresh set of downs inside the 5.
So he hit him and he celebrated, or or did he say something, or it's
again,
hard to tell up here.
Not
obviously,
having the officials mic'd up, and it's very difficult to know exactly what they're calling. And now they're giving an explanation to David Sines, Steele's head coach. That flag again puts the football at the 2-yard line, and now 1st and goal.
I told you the last penalty kind of surprised me, and I wasn't real sure. And this one, I'm perplexed as to what the call really is.
It's now 8 flags in the game against Steele. Rangers have only been called for 2. Also stop the clock, and that's important if you're the Rangers. You need all the time you can get down 3 scores.
You need to punch this one in right now.
First and goal from the 3. Eggleston, the man in motion. Running play, Fortone up the middle. Fortone fights his way to the 2. Only a yard. Fortone having a really hard time finding running lanes in this game. Second and goal.
He's getting through the initial line of scrimmage, but then the linebackers are just finding him, and the safeties are finding him and sending him back.
But again, the inability to score there is costing the Rangers 20 seconds. I now look back at the sidelines. More time will tick off. Gombert talking to the offensive line here with the play clock down to 7. Gombert hands off Eggleston. Eggleston fumbles the football at the goal line, recovered by Steele. Coming out with the ball, guess who? Jalen Jones. Justice if you're Jones there. Twice called for personal fouls inside the 10. Recovers the fumble by Eggleston, who I think was just trying to reach for the goal line as he leapt. Lost the football. And for the second time tonight, Smithson Valley, the ball inside the 5, and they cannot score.
That has to be frustrating as a staff and as a team to just being unable to even push the ball forward down inside the 5-yard line. That's the second time tonight. The good news is this time that they start from their own 1.
And now 4 Ranger turnovers. Very tough to beat Steele.
Right.
When you turn the football over, let alone playing even with them in the turnover game. Beagle and first down. Wants to go deep down the middle. He's got McKnight across the 25. And the Knights no longer out of the shadow of their own end zone. McKnight to the 31-yard line for 30 more yards. First down, Steele.
He's just going back and looking for McKnight. McKnight's been the player that's been the one that's been open and really had decent coverage on the play, just unable to make a play on the ball.
10:45 left in the 4th. Steele, the football, the lead, 28-7. And the Knights seem to be about 10.5 minutes away from the 3rd win in a row. First down running play to Quavian Thompson into the open field. Thompson brought down by Livingston at the midfield logo. 20 more yards for Steele and another Knights first down.
It's really amazing that unable to play. This is only, what'd you say, it's his 4th game. Quavian Thomas, the senior, he's got a chance to play at the next level, there's no doubt.
You look at this roster, and again, Beagle, the quarterback, has been offered by Rice. Jones has committed to Texas A&M. Daniel Jackson, a receiver, out for the season, is committed to Iowa State. You look at the pedigree of players over the years. Tommy Armstrong, quarterback at Nebraska. Xavier Martin played at Texas Tech. Caden Stearns, right now a starting defensive back for the University of Texas. Malcolm Brown, now in the NFL, a veteran running back with the LA Rams. This team has turned out talent as his first down run for Thomas is good for 2, 2nd and 8.
They have had some players.
It's funny, too, that this is only the 14th year of Steele football. This program had his first season back in 2006. That first year, Steele went 4-6. Since then, a record of 147-28. A winning percentage of .840. They've been to either the state finals or state semis 7 times over the past 9 years. As there's a whistle before this next snap.
I think they called timeout.
Timeout by Steele. A run for the Knights highlighted by their state title back in 2010.
But when you think about it, if you're going to plant a school, did they not find a pretty nice place there?
Boy, did they ever. And
right off I-35 in Cibolo, an area that hadn't been developed, but right near a military base and all the things that you want.
And you saw the impact it had on Clemens. Their program, when Steele was born, was bad. It was a down program. It has only recently risen back to the prominence it once had.
Right. I mean, they planted themselves in what couldn't be a more prime area. I mean, it is locked in the middle of a lot of activity, and really you're in the north side of San Antonio, which has been an area that has been developed for the past 25, 30 years and is growing immensely.
So the 3 top teams in the district this year, and arguably over the past few, Clemens, Steele, and Judson, their campuses all within what? A 10-mile radius of one another.
Oh, without a doubt.
Out of the timeout taken by Steele, the Knights have 2 left. They lead Smithson Valley 28-7, 9:15 to go in the 4th quarter.
Second down and 8.
Beagle from the Ranger 48. Going to hand it off. And running play, Thomas to the outside, 40, inside the 30. A stiff arm of Betsy and takes the defender Livingston with him down to the 15. 33 more yards for Thomas, who's taken over this game, up to 163 yards rushing on the night.
He was cornered kind of at the line of scrimmage and just slid right through. He is physically gifted with speed, and he also has some great strength. And he has what we've seen from the past couple of weeks, running backs with great vision.
Again, we saw the impressive numbers last week against New Braunfels. 9 carries, $138, 4 touchdowns. Wondered if we were going to see something like that tonight. And
he's lined up at wide receiver right now.
He is. And remember, Thomas caught a touchdown pass earlier. Steele takes another timeout with 8:35 to go in the 4th quarter. I mentioned earlier that the district dominance that Steele has enjoyed over the past 78 games, 69 wins. When Smithson Valley beat Steele in Cibolo in 2017, it was a rout, 43-20. That ended a streak of 41 straight district wins for the Knights. Before that game, the last time Steele had lost in district was to Kerrville-Tybee in 2009. The Antlers quarterback, Johnny Manziel.
So he played in high school too?
He did. He did. Kerrville-Tybee.
Yeah.
Of course, went on to play Texas A&M and briefly in the NFL. And maybe even more briefly than that at the now defunct Alliance of American Football.
Quite a talent for sure.
Just couldn't quite find a way to have it all come together the next level.
He didn't have trouble with football. He had trouble with life.
Fair enough.
And he's not been the only one.
Out of the timeout, 8:35 left in this one. And Steele on his way to its 3rd win in a row after starting district play 0-2 from the Ranger 15. Beagle with the handoff. Gaddis to his right. Dives down to the 14 for a yard. Luke Seminaro, second-year defensive tackle on the stop for the Rangers. 2nd out of 9 now.
Thomas was the lead blocker that time for Gaddis. And he got hooked up with Thomas Zoig, and I don't know if you saw it, they didn't let go for about 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds after the whistle blew.
With Smithson Valley's offense, some games they've got it clicking. You look back at the non-district games, the final 2 against Hendrickson and Madison, 43, 44 points respectively, 51 against Canyon, 45 against East Central. 2nd and 9, running play. And Thomas takes 2 defenders with him down to the 12, making the 11-yard line. Attack for the Rangers that time from Ryan Fiamia. 3rd down, 6 to go, with 7:39 to go in this one. And the point I was about to bring up is that, again, the Rangers offensively have had some nice games, but when the level of talent steps up, this Ranger offense really had a tough time finding the end zone.
Yeah, it's been twice inside the 5, Brant, and we've talked about it. Just offensive line has to create, and the playmakers have to get in the end zone.
3rd and 6. Beagle back to throw. Beagle throws, caught inside the 5, and walking into the end zone for the touchdown, Darren McKnight. 7th touchdown catch of the season, and an exclamation point for the Knights in what is going to turn into the 3rd win in a row.
Unbelievable. McKnight is just, as a receiver, he's taken over the second half. He's had so many big plays.
2nd touchdown pass now for Beagle. McKnight, 6 catches, 97 yards, and a score.
He ran for 1 too, right?
Beagle, he did.
Yeah,
he
so
did.
He's counted for 3.
In fact, Beagle has scored twice on the ground.
Okay, you're right.
Yep. PAT, meanwhile, good for Hawk. And it's all Steele. 7:04 to go in the fourth. Knights 35, Rangers 7 on the Rangers Network.
Control. Your ability to choose. Control gives you power to fulfill your needs and wants as you see fit. GVTC understands and delivers control for their customers every day. I'm Trey Bellew-Witcher, and GVTC gives me control.
Fisher's Neighborhood Market is teaming up with the Smithson Valley Rangers. When you stop to gas up, look for the Ranger Spirit Pump. A portion of sales from this pump will be donated directly to the SV Athletic Booster Club to help out our Rangers. So choose the one that's Ranger Blue and fill up. Fisher's Neighborhood Market is proud to sponsor the Smithson Valley Rangers.
And welcome back to Ranger Stadium. 35 unanswered scored by Steele. Knights on top, 35-7. 7:04 to go. Fourth quarter, White Beagle icing the game moments ago with his second touchdown pass, 6 yards out to Darren McKnight. And the Knights on top by 28. You knew that once Steele started 0-2 that they were not going to lie down. They were going to battle for a playoff spot, and the win tonight all but wraps one up for them, considering the remaining schedule. Kickoff fielded on a bounce by Jalen Nutt all the way back inside of his 10. On the ball, they got behind him, takes it back out to the 18, and that's where the Ranger drive will start. Down by 28. If you're the Rangers at this point, just looking to get something going on offense going into next week against San Marcos.
I think what would really be, and I know we don't have it, but time of possession in the second half. They ran the first 9 minutes of the third quarter with, I think there was one three-play drive by the Rangers wrapped around two of their drives that both resulted in touchdowns. No, the first one was a punt and the second one was a touchdown, but they've eaten up a lot of clock tonight.
Fortell, first down carry, waiting for some blocks to develop, and takes it out to the 23 for 5.
Fortone, the ball carrier.
Even share so far tonight between Fortone and for Eggleston, although this play might be coming back. Each player 14 carries in the game, but this is a hold against the Rangers. Smithson Valley's third penalty of the night.
You know, in the Judson game, we got called for holding a couple of times, and I think that it just got pretty chippy on the lines, as you expect when you play Judson, because they have quite an edge to them. And tonight, I think we've been pretty clean on the blocking, and we've had some opportunities to run the ball, just haven't had it when it's been immensely needed in short territory.
First and 20 now, ball back at the 9. Rangers going into the win, and Gombert on the rollout, completes it. Chandler Cole, the catch, forced it out of bounds at about the 15.
Pass complete to Chandler Cole.
And for Cole, his first catch of the game, 10th of the year. That's good for about 6 yards to the play. Second down, 14.
Just really would like to see, a 7, 8, 9 play drive. Just, again, talked about this all year with this offense. They just need to get some first downs. Sustain something.
Now second and 13. Running play, Eggleston up the middle, 20-25. Nice run here to the 29-yard line for 14 yards. And Eggleston is over 100 yards on the ground for the game. On that is 15th carry.
Again, compliment his patience and his vision as he kind of wiggled his way through there, had some good cuts. A couple of the Steele's players going for a ball hawk instead of tackling him.
First down for the 29. Play action, pass over the middle, goes off the hands of Freeland and had a lot of room to run, where the drops have been a big problem for the Rangers tonight as well. It's going to bring up second down and 10.
As much as we kind of lament the problems Luke Gombert's had, and you can't put that ball in any better place, and
nope.
The junior receiver just let it go right through his hands.
You know, we've talked a lot about all the D1 talent that the Knights feature. Eggleston playing very well as of late. Spoke to Coach Hill early this week, and he's starting to get some looks from D1 programs. 2nd and 10. Eggleston's number called here. Eggleston breaks a tackle to the 40-yard line. Eggleston speeds past his Knights defense inside of midfield and to the 48-yard line. First down for the Rangers. That one's good for about 23 yards.
Broke 2 or 3 what looked to be drop-down tackles and gets a great run into Knight territory. And the first one to go down and congratulate him was Luke Gombert, who ran all the way down to help him up and give him a pat on the helmet. Pretty effective offense when you run the ball like that.
And now $124 on the ground tonight for Eggleston. First down for the Steele 48s. Another give here to Eggleston. Fights his way for a yard. That's good for a 17th carry of the Knights. Bring up 2nd down and 9.
A couple of linemen, a couple of linebackers said, well, we're not going to let you do that again. You've had it twice. Twice okay, 3 times no.
Again, this is a part of the field, Steele territory, that the Rangers have lived in tonight. Just so tough to think about that and look at the scoreboard, realizing Smithson Valley has 7 points to show for it. Drop play, Fortone. Cuts up to the 44. 4 yards for Fortone at his 15th carry.
Fortone, the ball carrier.
So now a big 3rd down play.
3rd down, 7 yards to go.
Brent, we've seen some effective passes in the short game, and we've seen some good runs. Fortone comes out.
I think this is a manageable enough 3rd down where your playbook can be fairly open. You can call run play here if you want.
I think so.
Call for crossing patterns. Don't have to go down the field. We'll see what the Rangers do. It is a run. Eggleston slips 1 tackle. He's got blocks. 30, 20, inside the 10, and they're going to mark him out of bounds, but where? And they'll say he went out at the 13-yard line. 31 more yards for Eggleston.
Unbelievable. He got popped at the line of scrimmage and fought it off and kept going and then showed that burst of speed, Brant. I just think someone, as Howell was down as his lead blocker, I think someone just bumped him enough. He stepped on the sideline before he got into the end zone.
You do have to give Steele's defense credit tonight. There have been some cases this evening where you feel like the Rangers are going to score. And Steele just makes that one play to make sure you got to earn it the hard way, and the Rangers unable to finish thereafter.
Yeah, these 14 yards will be the hardest.
Hand off Fortone to the 10. That's good for 4 yards for Fortone. 3:40 to go. 4th quarter, 35-7 Steele lead. And again for the Rangers, trying to build some momentum going into next week, and also points do matter, potential tiebreakers on the road as well.
These are some big points, I just think, for confidence for the offense.
2nd and 7. Running play, Eggleston again to his left. Eggleston is dragged down to the numbers at about the 8-yard line. Stop made by Cruz Untz. Free safety for Steele. Now 3rd and 5 from inside the 10.
Untz has 50 tackles on the year, and I don't think we've called his name very much tonight.
We have not. A player who's made some big plays too. 2 interceptions this year, including one of the opener against O'Connor.
Now you're looking at 3rd and 5 for a first down, but you're still on the 9. You've got some work to do. No down, 4 down territory.
Untz now comes out. Seems to be favoring his right shoulder, and then he just lays down to the field.
Oh, my. I don't know. They stopped the clock because he went down, but Brant, he was running fine.
And it seemed to take kind of a curtsy bow to his sidelines as if, how was my acting?
They're going to call a timeout.
Timeout, Steele. 2:41, so much for that. 2:41 to go in the 4th.
You've seen this happen in the NFL where they tell a guy, go down, and all of a sudden he's fine and he just flops. Well,
right.
Untz just did the same thing. He ran from the hash mark on the near side to the sideline on the far side, about 20 yards of football field and probably 40 yards of sideline field. And he got to the sideline and coach said something to him and he just fell down.
A dead sprint, and all of a sudden he can't move.
Oh, my.
Again, this is a very tough defense to move the ball against if you're not Judson. The Rockets, the only team this year that has piled up more than 300 yards of offense against his Steele defense. But the way the game started, with it, especially the way that the Rangers were creating field position, you thought Smithson Valley could score 28, 30 points or so tonight. But, boy, again, once the field is condensed, Steele's defense has just gotten better and better.
They just rise up to the occasion. They are elite athletes, a lot of them on that defensive unit, and when they need it, they play.
Out of the timeout, 3rd and 5 from the 9. Gobbert throws to the end zone, and the pass is dropped in the back left corner by Teetsman. That is at least the 4th drop by Ranger receiver tonight, and that would have been a touchdown.
That's the kind of play you feel for Luke Gombert. He put the ball in a very successful place, right over his shoulder. The only one who was going to catch it was your guy, and he catches it, has a foot in the end zone. It's a touchdown, and it goes through his hands.
And now Joaquin Rodriguez, who has missed 2 field goals tonight. This is a 26-yard attempt, but into the wind. And this kick is up, has the leg, and this one is good. So Rodriguez connects on his 6th field goal of the season. 2:33 to go. It is Steele on top, 35-10. Back after this on the Rangers Network.
Matt, we are excited to hear what you have come up with for the new Sage Capital Bank jingle.
You are going to love it. We think it really embodies Sage Capital Bank. Emotes class, tradition, effort. Well, just give it a listen.
Man, that's really got spirit, but isn't that
awesome?
That's the Smith.
Best song ever.
Well, yes, it is.
Yes, nailed it. Guys, we have got ourselves a jingle. Let's do it again.
Sage Capital Bank is proud to support the Smithson Valley Rangers, and you can bank on that.
And we're back at Ranger Stadium, Smithson Valley. The good news, the Rangers have scored. But the bad news is all Steele. Knights on top, 35-10, 2:33 to go in the 4th. Smithson Valley putting up points for the first time since the first quarter on the 26-yard field goal from Joaquin Rodriguez. Knights out of timeouts. The Rangers have 2 left. Steele playing for the onside. Rodriguez will kick it as deep as he can into the wind. The fair catch called for and made back at the 16-yard line. And that's where the Knights will start their next drive and could very well be their final one of the night.
Most of the starters are back out for the defense.
Again, you look at Steele's offense, and tonight the way that the Knights have played, Aquavian Thomas has been great. 22 carries, $166 for Thomas at a touchdown. He also has a receiving score tonight. Darren McKnight has proven to be a great threat down the field as a receiver. 6 catches, 97 yards, and a score of his own. Here's a running play for the freshman on the carry for Steele, Jadon Bailey. Bailey good for about a yard or so. The quarterback, Wyatt Beagle, tonight has gone 10 of 13 passing, $124, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing scores. Very balanced Steele offense.
And they have been that way all year long. We told us at the beginning of the game, 3 different running backs have about 300, 400 yards. That means they all get lots of carries, and the quarterback leads them in rushing with almost 500 yards. They're going to milk as much time off the play clock as they can, thankfully. And
so again, with this win and looking at what's next for Steele, you have to assume the 3rd ticket to the 26A postseason has been punched as of this game. And you could have said the same had Smithson Valley won as well. So that means there's 1 spot left. Smithson Valley and New Braunfels will both be 2-3 by night's end. East Central will be 3-2. Those are the 3 teams in contention for that final spot. Now, East Central has beaten New Braunfels, Smithson Valley's beaten East Central, and the Rangers play the Unicorns the final game of the regular season.
And the chances are that game will be for a lot of marbles. If they beat New Braunfels, chances are if East Central loses games we anticipate they'll lose, then that game will be for a playoff spot.
3rd and 4, run up the middle to the 32-yard line, short of the first down. Smithson Valley not calling for a timeout. There's about 25 seconds, the difference, the play clock and the game clock. And so I believe that'll mark the 3rd year in a row, give or take, that Smithson Valley and New Braunfels will be playing for a playoff spot, the final game of the season.
Yeah, that's what we anticipate.
New Braunfels next week, I believe they play Clemens. Assuming even if Clemens wins that game and Smithson Valley defeats St. Marcus, again, assuming a lot of things here. New Braunfels could still catch Smithson Valley because if they win, that would even their district records, and New Braunfels will have had the tiebreaker.
That is correct. So the winner gets in what we anticipate.
And that's if everything goes according to plan next week.
Beagle in the punt, Livingston to return.
Delay of game called on 4th down. So Steele will now punt the ball away from its own 27. And Livingston back to return. So the Rangers will have the ball one last time tonight. Here is the kick into the wind by Beagle. Fair catch from Livingston at the 35-yard line with Jalen Jones breathing down his neck. 20 seconds to go in the 4th quarter of this one. And then you look at 26-6A. We've seen Steele now, Judson, and Clemens. How far can these teams go?
Well, we've talked about Judson. Judson probably the most elite of the talented, but yet they make knucklehead decisions while they play, and that could cost them. I'm concerned about the overall offensive execution of Steele. And their defense gave up plays until they could stop. They had to stop them. Clemens, to me, doesn't have enough offense, but their defense is pretty good. So they all three could get somewhere.
35-10, Knights on top, 20 seconds to go. Pass in the flat is caught by Howell. Howell gets dumped over at around the 43-yard line, out in space by J.B. Bateman. And that should be the game's final play. Inside of 5 seconds, and that is it. So the Steele Knights have won for the 3rd Friday in a row, while the Rangers suffer their 2nd straight defeat. Final score tonight from Ranger Stadium, Steele 35, Smithson Valley 10. We're back to wrap things up on the Rangers Network.
With university admission competition at its peak and demand in the workplace for the best and brightest young talent, the time is now to give our students the edge at Comal ISD. And that edge is Memorial Early College High School. No matter where you reside in Comal ISD, MEX will help accelerate your learning and prepare you for a lifetime of success. You have a choice to make your high school experience fit you and your way of learning. Through a unique relationship with St. Philip's College, you can earn an associate's degree of arts. That's 2 years of college for free while you are still in high school. MEX offers a combination of regular and dual credit courses taught right here by instructors that have master's degrees. Learn in a hands-on collaborative way at MEX. Research, explore, problem solve, and build long-lasting relationships with driven, focused, and great students like yourself. Our campus is unique with many opportunities to get involved in school spirit. Our many clubs, academic UIL, sports, community, and leadership opportunities will have you screaming with eagle pride and soaring to new heights of excellence. Explore your options with Comal ISD. Explore Memorial Early College High School today.
We're back to wrap things up from Ranger Stadium. Steele the win tonight over Smithson Valley, 35-10. The Knights very impressive from about the second quarter on as they improved to 6-2 on the year. and more importantly, 3-2 in 26-6A play in the driver's seat for one of those 4 coveted playoff spots. The Rangers fall to 4-4. They're now 2-3 in a very difficult 26-6A district, with San Marcos coming up next Friday on the road. Tony, back to wrap things up here against Smithson Valley. A great start tonight, led Salvador Zip nearly right away in the game. But after that, the offense, despite great chances, great opportunities, great field position, just could not capitalize.
Steele is an elite program, and I think for many parts of this game, they played like an elite team. Anytime Smithson Valley got momentum, got into scoring opportunities, they stopped them, and you have to tip your hat to them because they made the plays tonight that the Rangers didn't make.
Again, tough loss for Smithson Valley, but the Rangers will forge forward. They will next play San Marcos on the road next Friday. A game we'll have for you right here on the Rangers Network. For more on that game and for more on tonight's game, a full recap of it, be sure to catch Inside Rangers Football on the Rangers Network. So on behalf of our entire Rangers Network crew, for Tony Brubaker, I'm Brian Freeman, saying once again the final score, Steele 35, Smithson Valley 10. From Ranger Stadium, good night.